42, set, hike. Alright. Top left-hand corner as the red Terran, we have Yellow Foxbat focusing on his laying of mines this game. Oh my god, this SCV is hardcore derping a little bit. On the right side, in the bottom right-hand corner, we have 16 Blue, who is aka Gamble. And I will be right back. You're face to face, the man who sold the world. Alright, we're back. We're back. Let's take a look at what we have happening here. We see a gateway. So that looks good here for 16 Blue, and we've got the core on 13. I'm a little suspect of this core positioning. Let's see if this is good. Let's see if this is good, or if it's an anti-core. It might be good. Okay, looks like it's good. Nice. So that's going to make those guys arguably mine slightly more efficient. So well placed there. We got the nice wall. We have the depot racks to the left of the depot, which of course is tight to zealots but allows Marines to micro through there. Very nice, efficient way to defend against harass and such things. And then what do we got going on down here? We've got a pylon. We've got our gateway. And then we'll see what kind of style here Gamble is playing. He's a new player, he's learning, he's been asking about improvement, so I'm expecting relatively macro-oriented plays here from Gamble, especially since he was talking about retreating when losing zealots. That makes me think macro. It's usually less of a thing when you're focused on early game stuff or shuttle Reaver harass or anything like that. You're usually not going to be too worried about that sort of a goal. You have the SCV just chilling outside here and doing its own thing. Few Marines. We've got a factory started down here at the bottom. So this guy's a little bit hidden. I don't think it'll be seen here by 16 Blue unless he does something weird with this Dragoon. So Gamble or Foxbat might get a nice little scout out of that. 16 Blue, of course, is Gamble. Foxbat is the red Terran. And presumably this is going to be Dragoon range, but there's always a chance he throws down another tech item. Got a probe headed out here. Let's see, is this a scouting probe, number 2, or is this something different? Did already lose a probe to that Marine. It's probably here to build a Nexus. Second Goon probably have one started. And then, nice find. So, Foxbat's idea was good, but it is discovered. Doesn't really have to put this probe here to block. Hopefully he won't delay his expansion to do that. Build the expansion! Okay. Expo. No upgrade quite yet. So I'm just waiting on some minerals, I guess. We'll start mines. No? Marine first? SCVs first? Upgrade? 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 It's very upgrade-less right now. Okay, upgrade starts. That is pretty delayed. Pretty delayed, presumably mines. We have a normal one-gate expo happening here. And yes, I agree. And alright, Foxbat is going to start his CC in base. Nothing inherently wrong with that. I still think it's better to get your Marines and come down and just build the CC in the natural when you come down for your FD here. Like, he could be down right now building this Expo at his natural, but instead he's like very scared from this 1 gate and building it in the main, which really you don't even have to do against 2 gate. If it's 10-15 or something like that, then maybe you want to think about something like that and just be careful with your sieging. But this is super conservative. He's actually made the 2nd tank, so he's definitely safe to come down now. He should really make a few more Marines and do it that way. But I think he's going for siege, which I don't like as much. It's just it's really conservative. I think it's actually more dangerous in a lot of ways. And this tank is actually, this is a really stupid siege. As much as I hate to say it, he can just take the 4 Dragoons and walk over here and kill this tank. He would need to like siege 2 or at least have this sieged. So he was lucky that 16 blue doesn't know about that, isn't confident enough. But this is a bit of a mistake for Foxbat. In fact, this is a colossal mistake. He could absolutely die right now. 16 blue doesn't know it, but 4 Dragoons walking in here could easily snipe these Marines and either run by to the ramp or go back here and be annoying or snipe the tank because it's way too far forward. The tank probably should have been sieged maybe right there. So just something to think about. Opportunities where you can be aggressive. Now, he's on 2 gates, and he's only just added that one, so that's probably why. But now with the 2nd tank out, obviously that aggression, and 1 goon dead, that aggression window is sort of closed for the moment unless he makes a shuttle. But, I mean, no doubt, this is a pretty uncomfortable start for Foxbat. Like, you've already lost a tank, you've only killed 1 Dragoon, you don't really know what Protoss is doing. Like, Foxbat is not comfortable right now. He's getting some super fast scanners as a result. And, oh no, I would have gone for committed to it. Well, maybe not. Just pull that goon back and go for it with the other 2. Would have been worth it. Which would have been horrible for Foxbat. Yeah, he definitely 100% could have gotten the tank. So, let's see. Where is 16 blue going with this? We've got a robo. Now, if I'm 16 blue, I've killed almost 2 tanks. Feeling pretty good about what I'm doing. I've seen that he scanned me, which means he's not going to be able to go for a super fast attack, so I'm feeling pretty good about my position. And so I would say if I was 16 blue right now, I'm either immediately taking this base as a 3rd, or I am making a shuttle and adding a couple gates and going for some sort of bulldog because I've already killed like 2 tanks, or 1 tank. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, and that's where I'd want to take it. It's too late to say I feel like I'm just going to tech really fast. Okay, so he's going to go 3 gates, 3 more gates. I think these could have been a little bit faster. I would have rather seen this with a probe cut if you're going to be aggressive like this. Okay, well, never mind. He's also taking this. I guess that's fine. But again, if he's going to go gateway toss like this, super heavy off 3 gates, this is obviously a bit of a delay on his other tech. So he's going to have slow lots. He's going to have a lot of gates making Dragoons. But that's not really worth slow tech unless you're looking to get some damage done with him. And we see there's still, well, there could be, I guess there could be a shuttle making this isn't a replay. But, yeah. And of course he's taking that 3rd base. Now this is something I am not a fan of. Well, actually if he's sending these goons to the 3rd, okay, that's not bad. But I dislike this. Sending all these Dragoons to the front for a few reasons. Well, actually wait, does he have an obs inside the base? Okay, then yeah, I kind of dislike this because he doesn't know that there aren't drops coming. Now if he comes in, scouts with the obs, and sees no starport, that becomes a little bit better, but guess what? He does not have anything over this base. So if you camp at the front like this, especially with all of your army, and Terran makes like 6 vultures and goes zoop over here, and then runs out, and runs across, and runs into your natural, literally going to lose almost all your probes. It's going to be really bad. And there's nothing to stop Terran from doing that right now. And also, there's nothing to stop like a dropship. So I don't like sitting all your units at the front. It also requires being very attentive. When Terran gets a few more tanks, they can jump up to the bridge and snipe off extra goons. There's not much value to sitting like right outside the front with everything. There have to be some units back at home to defend. Now he's going to see this. Now has he built his shuttle? He's got 6 gateways. So I would really like to see some pressure with that 6 gateways, especially since the tech is being super delayed for this. I mean, we have a Citadel that is barely going to finish before 9:30. And then we can see also the other big issue here from 16 blue is he's got a pretty significant advantage, but his probe production has been kind of We're at 10 minutes. The main actually looks pretty good. The natural does not. That's 8 probes at the natural. He's barely built any probes there. And there's only 9 probes here, which is also not super good saturation, so we're lacking a little bit economically here from Gamble. It's not bad, but it could definitely be more refined. I'll get a kind of a slow transfer here from Foxbat. But it looks like SCVs are pretty decent from Foxbat. Yeah, we got at least a control group there. But the fast third base and the kind of the slow start here for Foxbat is putting Gamble in an okay position. No turrets here, so again, just the fact that Gamble's made all these gateways and is not using them, I don't like that. It's not worth delaying your tech to get a bunch of gateways, unless Terran's being like really aggressive and you need to defend a push. Otherwise, either get the gateways, make a shuttle, bomb, be aggressive, deny the third, threaten the natural, do whatever, or tech, if you're going to do that. And he should be right about at the point now where he's going to need quite a few more gateways or another expansion, although his low probe count is kind of hurting him in that sense. We can see he's been 3 bases now for a little while, probably a good minute or more, and he's still only able to support 3 gateways. Poking him here is an unwise... See, this is what I talk about when you sit the Dragoons at the front. Rarely are you going to be attentive enough to them, especially as a newer player, to avoid losing those Dragoons. So now he's just giving away a couple for free. Now, it's not the end of the world, but... Okay, now we finally hit that kind of sort of 1,000 mineral mark here. Starting to float a little bit high on the minerals. So it needs to get a few more gateways down at this point. That's not directed at us, I don't think. We got double upgrades going here. So we're headed to 2-1. Looks like 2-1 timing will be pretty good. And Gamble is taking a 4th base. And given that this is a 3rd base turn, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I don't know about this bunker here. I wouldn't say I like that. That feels unnecessary. It's not really going to give anything. Just make a couple turrets or whatever. Has he like completely skimped on eBay? Yeah, that's a little bit greedy, but I guess he's been scanning. But Protoss has like a shuttle now, so he should really have an eBay. I don't know where the shuttle has gone. But Protoss has a shuttle, or had a shuttle. Maybe he sent it somewhere unfortunate. Alright, so Foxbat is just moving up here to these bridges, trying to get Protoss Army away. His Vultures are still slow. That's a bit of an issue. Really shouldn't delay upgrades like that. But overall, I like what Gamble's doing. He's macroing pretty hard here. We are getting into our tech, although we need to make that Arbiter Tribunal. Those late Arbiters are a pretty big issue. And we can see here Gamble's expanded reasonably quickly. But it is 12:30, and even with with super late Arbiter tech, that he doesn't have yet, and whatnot, he's only at 145, and a pretty fast 30. He's only at 145 supply. A Protoss should be more or less maxed right now. It's good that he's adding gateways here, though. I really like that. That's very good from him. But a Protoss should be about maxed by now, and that goes down primarily to the low SCV counts we see, or low probe counts we see at all these bases. Very much holding him back. And Foxbat, despite having a massively slower 3rd, has been able to more or less keep up with him in supply, and will probably outstrip him here in supply shortly. Now, Gamble's adding a bunch of gateways here. He's actually adding, I think, too many gateways. I don't think you want to necessarily slow down your macro quite this hard while you're waiting for everything to come online. And again, this just goes back to the number of probes. He's just not mining the amount of minerals that would be ideal for him. You can see there's like 800 left here. And if we look at this natural, there's quite a bit more, despite Protoss having had this natural sooner. So just a very, very significant difference in the rates of mining based on those SCVs. Kind of stuck with my clan helping me out, says Stardom. Alright, so it looks like Foxbat's starting to mine up his main against recalls. That's a good thing. Looks like his 2-1 is about to finish here. Now there are lots of gates. We have finally had a probe transfer, so that is good. And the saturation, now the saturation with the probes over here, having made a few more, it's starting to look a bit better. And 16 blue will be maxed out, but again, the difference in max out time is just, it's a really big deal. It's going to be probably a 14:30 max as opposed to maybe a 12-minute, 12:30 max for a super economic game like this. Now, he's still gotten himself into a good position relative to Foxbat. Foxbat, a little bit conservative, had kind of a rough start to the game. But he's now more or less bounced back. He's not going to be all that far behind Protoss. The big challenge, of course, for Foxbat is going to be that Protoss has already added 6 gateways to another main, which is a difficult position for Terran to play as. Unfortunately, 16 blue has maxed with just one Arbiter, and it's not even going to have a stasis. So this late tech is going to give him a pure gateway army against 2-1, and that's a really, for lack of a better word, shitty army to fight a 2-1 Terran army. Gateway toss fights okay against smaller Terrans, but bigger Terrans with 2-1, we had a control group that was on hold position. He does gain control of that though, and then the Dragoons come down here, and he just needs to back up for the moment, and definitely needs to macro. I don't know if he's macroing right now. It doesn't look like it, and that's a big deal. Like, the second there's an engagement, you really have to be macroing, because now he's stuck at 170 as Terran supply is growing, and he's still not macroing. He's focused on his army a little too much here. The Arbiter's out. Did he make a... Okay, he's actually going to end up getting 2 or 3 Arbiters into his composition, in part thanks to that attack. In that sense, it was almost good for him, particularly if he starts this next Arbiter. But the downside is that the Arbiter he has does not have enough energy to do jack of anything. So it's kind of a dead weight. This is some cool positioning if he can attack when Terran is right here. But if Terran pushes over to about here, this positioning will actually become really bad because these goons will be getting blocked by mines on the other side, and he won't get the flank he wants. So we'll see if this pans out for him, but he needs to be very careful. It's also going to make retreating hard if he doesn't carefully click his hotkeys, because he'll need to retreat these groups out this way, and that way, and if they're mixed up and he retreats this way, shit's just going to A-move like through the Terran army. But the concept is very good. It's just a difficult concept to execute. Now these probes hopefully will transfer. Are we upgrading? No, so getting double forges and not continuing to upgrade with them. Well, he's got 1-1 at least. But would be nice if he started 2-2. 2-2 is probably cooking for Terran. Oh no, you can't. He's been like a minute or two behind his 3-2 upgrade. So powerful for Terran. And hey, Joel Chan, how you doing? All right, so here comes the push now. 16 blue needs to get the hell out of dodge with these Dragoons. The Vultures can eat them alive if they want to. Let's see if Foxbat realizes this. Now, I don't really like the fact that Foxbat is randomly pushing north. It's kind of a weird push direction. Long way. So it's given Foxbat a lot more time than he doesn't need, and we're going to have a counter attempt here, but it's sort of willy-nilly here with these Zealots out in front, so they're really going to eat a lot of mines and be softened up. Now this is going to be scary for Foxbat, and it's definitely going to freak him out because he hasn't laid many more mines here in the natural, and there's still enough Protoss that Protoss is blasting on through. But the army's going to be sweeping in from the other side here, and let's see if 16 blue can reposition here and take an okay fight. Honestly, at this point, he can almost just back up. He's bought a lot of time. But the real reason why moves like this are valuable is because, okay, he's got to retreat right now. Right now is the retreat moment. Nope, he retreated too late. Way too late. Okay, not way too late, but he did retreat too late. Now, right here is where he can stop and turn his army around and attack. But the big question is, did he macro during this? If he did, he's fine. If units pop out of the gateways, but mostly we're not seeing units popping out of the gateways, and okay, now he's hitting some macro, which is good. Okay, maybe he did macro during that. Okay, good. He did mostly macro from his gateways. So that's pretty important, but definitely overstayed his welcome there. It's hard to get out in time, but he stayed a little too long. And now he's got a difficult and somewhat scary army here from Foxbat out on the map, and Foxbat has quite a large bank. And you're right, definitely didn't have enough gates. And I was talking about that, like the whole value of doing like a counter like that when you're maxed as Protoss is to buy time, which is basically to buy time to either like get a recall off or to add more gateways. And so he did this counter that bought him time, but he didn't do anything with that time. He didn't take more bases, he didn't add gateways, so there was very little value in that counter. Now he's got to back up, he can't take this fight. But he is staying here, really needs to back up. Although, actually, wait, no, oh my god. It's a pretty big mistake not to have vessels here. So these Dragoons actually get a lot of kills, but he's got to back up now. He does not, and that is going to be GG, folks. You cannot do this with your army. It is irrecoverable. And there won't really be a way back from this at this point, I don't think. His gateway count isn't that high. Unfortunately, he's lost this Arbiter. Is he making more? At least he's making Arbiters. Did he start these upgrades? Okay, that's good. But yeah, not too much left that he can do. Pretty much the only way he can be okay is if Foxbat takes too long to push. Now I want to watch these mines. Well, needs to add more gateways. We got 3k minerals. We only have 6 gates here and 6 gates here, like 12 gateways, 4 bases. So in this point, I'm seeing a little bit of engagements and also just not enough expanding and gateway focus. That's really the big deal in PvT. When you have these downtime moments, like you just need a macro and then bam, like focus on getting gateways. These probes are probably doomed. Oh, okay, they're doomed. Does see him. Okay, so we're still lacking in mines from Foxbat. I mean, we're getting some, but we're not seeing mines on the other flank of the push. But Foxbat is closing in towards the main base. And hopefully he'll expand while he does this. Uh-oh, but there's only Zealots here. Now there is a decent army. 16 Blue has gotten back up close to max. And there is an Arbiter with it, but it's a 50 HP Arb. And this Arbiter is going to get EMP'd to 0. It didn't have enough to do anything, but it just looks like a little too much army. And 16 Blue, I like this. Now, he should just go this way. Go this way. No, no, don't attack into the army. Don't do it. No! That's not a good attack. Now you got to pull back right now. Right now. Once you realize this is dead, this is when the goons got to go back. So, again, way overstaying on a fight that he can't win. He could have been way more annoying if he would have kept this army out between and been picking off reinforcements, forced Terran to deal with it that way. But unfortunately, he fell into the typical trap of, oh my god, I'm getting attacked, I gotta fight. And it's understandable, it's hard. And then GG is called as Foxbat seizes the natural. So more gates, more expansions, faster, those are two big priorities. And then if you lose the fight, again, the goons definitely do need to come back faster. And then the final thing is maybe don't have to be completely one-dimensional on I must meet the army and fight it now. It's totally okay to be like, okay, you know what? That army's got a good position. It's stupid of me to attack this position right now. So I'm going to swing around, and I'm going to go and harass another base or go other places with the army and at least keep Terrans stressed out. Maybe recall if you have that as an option. Go around clearing out mines, go around countering, that kind of stuff. When we saw, he had this nice solid 2 or 3 control group army in between the bottom right attack and the reinforcements. And if he would have kept eating those reinforcements and threatening the main, that would have been really stressful, and most likely Foxbat wouldn't have been pushing in as fast. And then at the same time he's threatening that with the counter, if you can be taking those top bases, that's kind of what you're looking for. Maybe swing around to the third. Lots of options there. But if Terran gets their army sieged up into a good position with mines, 99% of the time, probably 90% of the time, you don't want to fight that army. You want to do something a little different than that. It's Kakolza. Hello, sir. And hello, Demorsh. The food has already been eaten, actually, believe it or not. The food has already been eaten. Oh, I need to open some more slots. Open the slots. And let's do this and over here and general. I'll hang out in voice if anyone else wants to pop into voice. Let's see if Strom is coming. I don't know if Strom Carlin is coming. She might be. She might not be. Give her a moment. Oh, am I up? Am I up? All right, I'll go against Foxbat, I guess. Or Demorsh will go. If he wants to go, I'll let him go. Next time we get a ladder session. Give me a sec to set up SOZ. Dude, it just happens. It just happens. It'll always happen. The Royal Stove. Gotta have some Disney. Disney, you know? A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer. And where do we fit in? Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously swear. Alright. Alright. I think everybody's more or less ready. Let's see. Throw King. Da. Ah, I see people in Discord. Wait, are you guys talking? Campbell? Strong? Are either of you guys there? I'm just trying to... Okay. Okay, I hear people. I'm going to turn up the mic just a little bit for you guys. You're a little too quiet.
You're like really quiet.
Yeah, you're extra specially quiet. Alright, we need a little more output device. Bring that up just a bit. Cool. Brood War didn't crash while I was tabbed. That's always exciting. Chobo Foxbat. Alright, are we ready?
Ready.
The Throw King save is ready. With mind control? What?
Yeah, you did it in the game of Coliseum. We had a weird game there.
Oh, we were looking at... Okay, never mind. I thought you were talking about in the game we just watched. I was like, I don't think there was a Dark Archon. Alright, just waiting on Throw King to say go, I guess. On our Demorsh. Yeah, you ready? Oh, that's Okra. Hey. Yes, we can. Alright, Throw King's ready. 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so top right, Yellow Foxbat. Bottom right, Throw King. The two rivals, practice partners, whatever you want to call them. I would say Foxbat usually gets the better of Throw King by just a little bit. But they're reasonably matched in skill. Gamble, not a bad game, by the way. I had some comments, of course, on stream, but that wasn't too bad overall.
Who just played?
Gamble just played against Foxbat.
Cool. Who won?
Foxbat won. I think Foxbat's a couple hundred MMR higher than Gamble,
Yeah.
but Gamble was in a pretty good position. But then, as games go on, that tends to favor the player that's a bit stronger.
Yeah, so I had I feel like my macro was decent, but I just never really had a plan in terms of it.
Your macro, I would say decent would be a good way of describing it. You were just missing some probes. More probes and it would have been very good. But yeah, it was decent. There was a little bit of kind of not knowing what you wanted to do in the mid game. You kind of took a fast third, you kind of added gateways, you kind of had late tech. Your mid game could have been more optimized for a specific goal. If your goal is to get into a massive macro position, then maybe less gates and expand a little more aggressively, especially since you saw that you'd killed a tank of his, you had obs in his base, saw he didn't have much, you saw he did an early scan, so his aggression opportunities are kind of low. So you could have gone either for
Foxbat isn't that aggressive anyways.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said I don't think Foxbat's that aggressive anyways.
He does some timing sometimes though.
Oh, okay.
And then, or you could have gone you put down those 6 gateways. You could have cut a little bit sooner and gone for those gateways and popped a shuttle. And you definitely could have busted him with a shuttle or really annoyed his third. But have some sort of mid game plan because you kind of added some gates and slowed your third a little bit, and then you teched really slow. So you ended up, even though your macro was good, you kind of ended up with not that fast attack, not quite the eco you could have had, and not super aggressive potential. So that was kind of the thing I saw in the mid game, and then 4 on gas for Foxbat, probably an accident, and then in the late game, the probes kind of hurt you, and then there was a few points where you were doing some nice threatening counters, but especially when you're already maxed, the main point of threatening a counter is obviously to slow Terran down, but the advantage of slowing Terran down is adding to your bank and buying time for recall and stasis and things like that. When the main thing adding to your bank is for gateways, and you only stayed on 10 gates or 12 gates or something, so you really could have thrown down another 10 gates or so, another 5 in each base, and that would have helped you a lot. And then also just your engagements. It looked like your army was never quite as big as it needed to be. It wasn't all together. And then you did an okay job of it in a couple fights, but you definitely need to get even a little bit faster about pulling back. Ideally, the moment you want to pull back is the moment there's a couple zealots left, but you realize, okay, I'm not winning this fight, and you got to pull back then. And if you pull back right before the zealots die, you can usually get the goons out alive. But if you pull back after the zealots are dead, even right after the zealots are dead, you're usually going to lose half of your dragoons in that last volley of siege tank fire. So the response, the trigger has to be really, you have to pull back really early compared to sort of how it feels like you want to. And then also in the last engagement, you did something really cool, right before you GG'd. You got your army in between his army and his reinforcements, and he didn't have a lot of mines or anything. And that was a brilliant move. You picked off some reinforcements, but then you kind of, I think, had this, oh my god, there's an army at my doorstep, I need to kill it moment. and instead of going for the attack, like he's already sieged up, he's got mines, like that's not a good place to attack. You should have just kept kind of threatening counter over at natural and third and picking off units, because it's a pain in the ass. It's really hard to deal with a Protoss army that's big in between your main army and your reinforcements. And then he just didn't have a lot, so if you're constantly threatening those counters, he's going to have to deal with your counters, and that's going to slow his pushing into your base and just keep buying more and more time. So you could have done a lot with that army rather than just attacking into his siege position at your nat.
Yeah, actually, as I was doing that, I was like, fuck, I should have just countered, and then just like teched off my other base.
Yep, yeah. And like I said, you were in a strong position with that counter. Like that really could have been very difficult for Foxbat to deal with. And I mean, well executed, like you could probably win that game. Like if you had someone that's good at that kind of stuff, like Chobos Wagons or somebody doing it, like he probably could have just outright won the game there, because Foxbat would have a really hard time dealing with that counter. Like counters really mess you up, especially if you're not really good at army control and that kind of decision making. Because like if Foxbat goes to push with that counter there, and then he just gets countered, like he loses everything, and even if he kills your main, you don't care. You have a bunch of money in other bases and stuff, and you've got other gates. And then if he defends the counter, like, because players at this level are almost never fast enough to like control 2 pushes. So if he goes to defend, well, then his army's sitting in your bridge, but it's not actually killing anything, and he's just worried about like defending the counter, and then you're macroing up and getting more options, and then you can like maybe recall to another base, and then he's got to start pulling units. There's just a lot of ways to abuse that if you have a good position like that.
Right, okay. Sweet.
And we have Chobos Wagons in the chat. Hello. Oh, we also have Laser Snipe too. Alright, so what do we got here? We got Armory and Academy from Foxbat. Ooh, fast Armory. But not the 6-minute Armory. It'll be close though. I wonder if this will be 2 base 2-1. He's still on 1 fact, which makes me think it will be 2 base 2-1. Because 1 fact and then looking to expand would be pretty crazy. We got 2 gates, and we got a Reaver from Throw King from Demorsh. Fix your layout. What layout is that? Overlay? Wait, what? Is there an overlay? Alright, we'll quickly double check that. Editor. I don't know what you mean by overlay. Unless you just mean where this follower goal is positioned. I guess maybe that's slightly off. Alright, I guess we're good now. Alright, so Foxbat is sitting back very defensively, but he's also sitting back very not Reaverly defensive. That came out weird. That came out weird. Yeah, like all of his tanks are ready to defend the front, but they are not ready to defend his main. So this is not the ideal position. He's completely not expecting this Reaver, because he hasn't gone for as fast of a scan this game. So it's all down to reactions. He appears to see it. His face is there. He should see it. He's looking at this. Oh no, he's looking. He has his vision on this area, but he's not actually watching it. So this is critical damage. Okay, critical is maybe a little strong, but it's a hell of a lot of damage. Let's see if Demorsh is going to micro this Reaver. Gets off a shot. There we go. Picks that up. But again, look at the damage. Okay, maybe that is close to critical. It's going to basically kill 2-1. Now he only really has the option to just go into a third base and turtle, because he can't possibly hit anything good with 2-1. So, hey, Edward James, thanks for following, man. Least has been practicing his Reaver drops, says Okra. Hey, Reaver's a good skill to have in PvT. If you can use it well, it's a very good unit. Pros have gotten really good at dealing with it, but at any other level, it's super good. He needs to be very careful. Oh, no, he didn't unload with the Zealot first! No! Gotta unload a Zealot first. A few Goliaths coming out now for Foxbat. So we'll see where Foxbat takes this game. He's throwing down a Starport. I don't like the decision to continue on with 2 base 2-1. He's not going to be able to create a big enough army. Like, he just needs to go and defend and get an expansion and just accept that he's going to have to play from behind. Because with that kind of SCV damage and the Reaver out, he obviously doesn't have aggressive potential. So he can't win the game that way. The 2-1, same problem. So I really think the best option is just a turtle to 200-200. Realize it's going to be a hard game and try to take your win from there. And that's something you got to do a lot of times, like in StarCraft. Like if you get behind or something goes wrong, you got to sit there and think, all right, what is my best chance to win this game? You know, and that will depend. Like if Foxbat had kind of a scary army and Demorsh had just thrown away his Reaver, and Foxbat had lost a lot of SCVs, then this situation might be quite different. It might be, okay, I'm just going to go for an attack and pull a bunch of stuff and try to win right now. But in this case, he doesn't have enough units to threaten a scary attack, especially with a Reaver out on the map. And also there's archives, so DTs can be made. His vessel's a ways away. He just doesn't have those kind of options. But he's still going to just kind of follow along with his build. And as long as Demorsh doesn't do anything stupid, he'll be just fine. He's actually got double shuttles now. So he's playing pretty aggressively. Alright. Oh, he's going to take a third. Foxbat! Are you going to take a third? There's an SCV over here. I would take the closer... I would still probably take the closer third, but... Alright, I like this. Alright, Foxbat. Slow golf clap. We went up to like 3 factories. We're expanding. We recognize that, okay, we can't really get critical damage done. Demorsh with a nice solid 40 supply lead. That's pretty juicy, pretty comfortable as Protoss. Double shuttles for harassment potential. And third base goes down for Foxbat. And if he ecos hard off this, he won't be as far behind as I initially thought he was going to be. I think he hates it. Yeah, I totally hate it when people love my content. It's the worst. I'm just trying to get as many haters as possible. No, I think if you want to get as many haters as possible, you need to channel your inner Julia. Or perhaps your inner Jordaddy. Although Jordaddy gets fans, because, like, I don't know. Jordaddy BM is kind of funny. Julia BM is just like BM. It's like, oh, okay, this person's just not very nice. Alright, we got a bunch of gateways coming up here for Demorsh. A few of them need a little bit of rally help, but no concern at the moment. Because Foxbat is not pushing, he's moving into a pretty staticky game. In fact, as many buildings as he has out front now, I wonder if Foxbat is going to actually try to play a complete turtle game, or if he's going to want to go to 3-1 or 2-1 and push, max and push. Fighting Spirit is one of the maps where it's reasonably suited. If you want to play turtle, you can. It's not Heartbreak, but it's not bad for it. And that if you were going to play that way, it would look like depots kind of out in front here, some turrets, a bunch of mines. Same thing going on over here. You're going to usually leave a few static tanks on this side, a few static tanks on this side, and then you're going to have some tanks that you're kind of just moving in between the two locations. And then all you're really doing is you don't even have to take either of these two bases. You just kind of sit your army here, and if Protoss goes to take this base or this base, you can just kind of creep a few tanks up over here and be obnoxious. And it's really just a game of basically not letting Protoss get in good recalls or getting caught really out of position. So that is a way you can play Fighting Spirit if that style of Terran appeals to you. Throw King just running up here. Looks like he wants to clear out a few mines. We can see the supply gap for Foxbat's not terrible, and the upgrades are going to be very good. Remember, he was intending to go off 2-1, so his upgrade timing is going to be excellent. And Throw King is thinking about an attack. His army seems incredibly small for 150 supply. I know there's... Oh, he's got triple shuttles. Okay, well, if he's got a control group in those shuttles as well, maybe this army could be a 150 supply army. And this is not defended. This is actually suddenly very scary for Foxbat. Let's see what happens with these mines here, but these shuttles are going to do some crazy annoying problems. But they're not going to help with the tanks coming back to defend, which may or not be good. Indeed, they all had zealots from, so this is some pretty interesting bulldog play here from Throw King. Gamble, this is kind of the idea of the aggression I was talking about. You could have done something similar to this, although you might have just needed one shuttle, but it should get cleaned up. I mean, the SCVs have been lifted, and it's down to just zealots now, so tanks and a few rallied vultures should be able to clean this up okay. But the threat of the shuttles will continue, and will be very annoying, unless, of course, one of the shuttles goes down. So that was not a bad move from Demorsh. The suicide of the goons was kind of bad, though. So maybe I take that back. It was an okay move. I don't know. Some lost mining time and some SCVs on the third base. Was it worth a group of goons? Probably not. Had he just backed off with a group of goons, would have been a wonderful play to abuse the lack of turrets and you know, three free tank kills and no losses. Yeah, great. Still, overall, it went okay for Demorsh, who is expanding now to a third base. And Foxbat just really playing off that back foot there. Oh, we have an SC. Oh, okay, I thought it was going to be a Vulture. I was like, well, that would be slightly annoying, but just an SCV. Going to be like, ah, shit, Protoss is taking more bases. Looks like we have 2-1. Come on, start that 3-2. Don't delay it like you did last game. Obviously, if you guys don't know, upgrades are super powerful for Terran in TVP. Just the difference in the tank damage and the general output as you go to 2-1 or to 3-2. Was he having a Jadon moment in his base or something? Because there's suddenly a shitload of Dragoons here. He might have just macroed a shitload, though. I don't actually know what his oh my god was about. He's got scouts.
What?
I don't know what the oh my god is about. I'm looking for a Rant Vortex. I'm looking for anything weird happening. I don't know what it was about, though.
I think his...
Oh, you know what it probably was? That he's got 2 scouts. He probably meant to hit AA, and he hit SS. So he probably just noticed, oh, I have scouts, and went, oh my god. That's the most likely thing.
Yeah. I, in ZV, well, actually, especially ZVP, but I guess whatever. Sometimes I make Scourge by accident because I hit S twice.
Yeah.
Select Larva. Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah, I've done that. I've even considered changing my hotkey because, yeah, you go to, like, make mutas or something, like, particularly ZVZ if you're kind of making them on the fly, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I got 12 Scourge and a muta. Well, I don't know if that's what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would triple shuttles in the main have been better? There are some pretty good mines, but there's not a lot of turrets. I mean, it could have been annoying. It certainly wouldn't have been worth dumping those shuttles. Had there been maybe a couple more goons or some Reavers, like computer stall. But I don't know if anybody can hear me during this, or if my voice is just in a void as we wait for it to undo itself. Alright, we're back. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but it's weird. It's like my computer just kind of freezes and thinks for like 10 seconds and then comes back.
Yeah, you're cutting out a lot today on Discord.
Oh, I think that's mic position. Probably the sensitivity settings in mic position.
With the game freezing, so I don't know.
Alright, so the scouts are just being annoying. I guess they're gonna force a few Goliaths. The one mistake here that we can make, these are accidental, but if Foxbat like was like, oh, he's making scouts and started making like 12 or 15 Goliaths, that would be not so great for him. But it appears that he's reacted to this okay. And we see that Throw King did indeed produce Arbiters, so I think we can infer that the scouts were the reason for the oh my god. Pretty nice army here from Demorsh. What is it? Looks like 2 control group goons. We got 3, 4, and shuttles. Yeah, that's a pretty big army. It's a good solid 5+ control group army, so well controlled. This army certainly has the potential to take a pretty good engagement. And there's also 2 Arbiters, so yeah, this is a good beefy army from Throw King. He's adding his gateways to his other main, where he got probe transfers over, so economy's coming up pretty good. I wonder if the internet's just, I don't know what this is. This is weird. But it is me. It is definitely me that is causing some of these weird spikes. I thought we were friends.
Normally you cut out a little bit on Discord, but you're cutting out a lot today.
Huh. Yeah, I think the cutting is just like the mic sensitivity settings. Because like a lot of times I have the mic to the side, and so I don't think it's picking up my voice directly. So it kind of in and out.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
So I'm trying to put it like more directly in front of me now and see if it makes a difference. Why is there a giant transfer of SCVs away? I don't know. So we can see it's taking Foxbat forever to max. He's still only at 180. Should be working on 3-2. He really could have had 3-2 by now, which is a bit unfortunate. Especially it'll be really unfortunate if he doesn't have 3-2 when he pushes. Now the challenging thing here for Demorsh is he's got these double arbiters and like 2 or 3 shuttles. So it's a lot of army to use well, and if the shuttles just die, that's like a control group of supply. That's a 20 supply that's of no value. But well used, it's pretty powerful. Now he is going to charge on in here. Let's see what he can get done with the shuttles. A little bit of an early unload, and he's kind of coming in clumped here. He's obviously trying to direct his attack at the third, but it's not exactly working out. Now some of his army is starting to run in. Let's see, are there enough army? Anything for stasis? Needs to throw it onto stasis, or maybe recall there if you're going to try that. But nope, that Arbiter dies. So I don't know what Demorsh is focusing on here, because he has 2 stasis and he hasn't used any of them. And this is the point where you need to back up. This is how you lose games, Demorsh. Okay, okay. So, Demorsh definitely microed that fight. Definitely over-microed that fight. There was 0 macro. His micro did not appear to be doing much. The unloading the shuttles was fine. After that, it was like, I don't know. It was probably 30 seconds of 0 macro and nothing effective that he was doing with his army. So if you guys are doing PvT fights, what you want to focus on is, yeah, you want to unload shuttles, but number one thing you do is stasis with the ARBs. That's the first thing you do. Split those ARBs up, stasis, then you can control your army. And the things you got to check there are, how's the spread of your army, which you kind of want to do before the fight. Can my zealots get through, and then reposition so they can. And then if you have extra time, if there's open lines into tanks, running a few zealots towards the tanks is good. If there's not, then don't worry about it. If you try to run your zealots through vultures, you'll just get massacred. And then the other thing you can do is just kind of grab your army and just sort of spread it out a little bit. But Demorsh didn't do any of that, so I don't know what his focus was on in that fight, but whatever it was definitely not helping him. And he missed a lot of critical things. Like he got 0, like if he would have hit 2 fat stasis on those tanks, good chance he could have kept pressuring on up there towards the top. And had he macroed a bunch of zealots while doing that, then he almost certainly could have broken, because Foxbat is still really hurting for production. And he's starting to mine out now. Now the attack was still a big enough army and strong enough here for Demorsh that in spite of all that, and because he backed up at a good time, it was a pretty decent attack still. He didn't lose a ton of stuff. He killed a bunch of tanks. And, you know, when the economy is this bad for Terran, anytime you trade even close to decent, it's just Terran's never maxing. So Foxbat's never being able to push out, and he's just having to sit here defending his third, which is just really bad for Foxbat. And props to Demorsh, he's got quite a few gateways. He's even taken the 6 o'clock base. He could even consider taking the left side, which pretty much at this point, Foxbat probably just needs to go for the left side and just turtle it out, which is kind of what he's doing. But for the turtle style, you really need to come and take the whole left side of the map a bit faster. And now Demorsh is remaxed here. This time his ARBs don't have energy. So if he attacks right now, I'm going to smack him with a wet fish. But Demorsh, you hear that? You better give your ARBs enough time to at least have some energy. Then if you want to go for an attack, sure, go for it. Foxbat's really badly unsieged, so it's actually a pretty good time to run in, but Demorsh is in a big clump. One thing I don't think Demorsh... Let's see if he knows to do this. Is he going to go for a fight? Or is he just running away? He's running away, kind of? Yeah, he's running away. Okay. Turn the goons around to attack the vultures as you retreat. Doesn't matter, it's like 5. Alright, so a bunch of mines here. I mean, I do like that now Foxbat has a shitload of mines on his backside. That's really nice. Basically nullifies any counter of Demorsh. Makes it really hard to go around and counter. Now, at this point, Demorsh should just continue spamming gateways like everywhere he can find because he's got 10k minerals. And at that point, yeah, just add gateways. Go nuts. And now is the moment for Demorsh to run in. Demorsh, run in! Demorsh, go! He's unsieged! If he runs in after... well, okay, alright, we're going for it. He's not... we got 2 control groups that aren't in the fight, so this is really bad for Demorsh. The stasis, he got the stasis, good. That's an improvement, Demorsh. Nice EMPs on the ARBs, that's a pretty cute strat, but half his army didn't fight in that fight. And it's still maybe going to go okay-ish for Demorsh. He's still trading okay, and... now is where Demorsh backs up with the goons. Right now. Pretty close, but... seconds make the difference, and Demorsh loses most of his army. And he didn't macro again during Demorsh, the over micro on the fights. If you would have macroed, like right about now, you have 2 control groups popping. you can crush this, but instead you're really far behind in supply. We see just now macroed, so now he's got to wait. And if Foxbat were quicker with this, he could go straight down to some other base. But Foxbat, given his mineral situation, it's not enough for Foxbat to just push bases. He absolutely needs to take both bottom left and top left, like right now, ASAPly, especially with that 2k bank. That should be the priority for him right now. Reinforcing this push he needs to do, but he can't win with this push alone. His money is just way too dry. It will get whittled down by Demorsh. Desperately needs to grab those bases. And, well, he's at least clearing out the Protoss attempt at a base. And he has gotten rid of Demorsh's, what is that, 9 o'clock? But, of course, Demorsh is going to be able to get together another large army. And he is now remaxed, waiting on all those units to pop out of the gateways. And getting a bunch of tanks down here. Alright, so Foxbat is expanding towards the top left here, which is good. Should take the top left as well. 11, that's a little bit overkill. I mean, I kind of like the styling here for dealing with arbiters, but 11 is a bit overkill. There aren't carriers in so much as I've found. Lockdown really can be nice against carriers in the situations where you can pull it off, but outside of that, like, ghosts are not a particularly powerful fighting unit, and you don't need 12 ghosts for 2 or 3 arbs. Looks like we're gonna have a recall here from our boy Throw King Demorsh. And there's 0 mines from Foxbat. So Foxbat has beautiful mines on the map, but he has really bad mines at his third base. And so Foxbat's mining is about to go from 1 base to 0 bases. He does still have a 2k bank though, which is nice for him. And let's see, go for the CC snipe, go for the CC snipe, no, snipe the CC! Could have sniped the CC, but as it is going to be floated away to safety. Uh-oh, no, my bird war just crashed. Oh shit. Well, that's unfortunate. So we do not see the conclusion of that game, sadly.
You all tabbed just now?
Yeah, I was trying to check something with stream, and apparently it slayed it. Someone's saying they couldn't see the game, but I don't understand, because if I look at my stream, was streaming just fine. It's very confusing. That's very confusing!
Are we gonna wait for these guys to finish?
We might just, let's see, we might just go into our next one. We'll see how it goes. Let's see where we're at here.
What?
I went back to the channel for the moment. I'll give them like a couple minutes, but if it continues to turn into like a massive macro game, we'll go into another one.
What? Sorry, you cut out for everything that you just said.
We'll give them like 2 or 3 minutes to see if their game ends. And then if not, like if it looks like it's going to go into a super macro fest, then we'll start another one up.
Foxbat killing bottom left.
Oh, Foxbat's actually going to win then. If he's got bottom left, he's probably going to win.
I think he's going to win.
So that was a pretty big mistake from Demorsh, and that goes back to the macro. He should have he had enough that he could have just smashed the army, I think.
Yeah. I think he's been drilling army engagements.
Yeah. And it is looking better, but yeah, you know, we saw that last engagement of his missing 2 control groups on 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A is a big deal. Honestly, I would say if you're not comfortable with that, just go slow. Make sure you get it right, because it's brutal if you get it wrong. And the problem is he might be drilling engagements, but he's not drilling macro while he engages. And then the secondary part of it is I think he's, given what I saw, I think he doesn't know the right things to focus on in engagement. So I think doing a better job of that would be really helpful. As like I said, if you're not casting stasis and not like spreading out units in your fight, those are kind of the most important things to do, and Demorsh wasn't doing either of them. Alright, if he's killing bottom left, we'll wait and see how that pans out.
Yeah, I think this is about to be GG's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are still in the game.
Yeah, we're still in the game.
Although Demorsh does pull up.
Got such a big bank. Foxbat has no mining base, though. That's the thing. So if I think that actually, if Least kills this army at bottom left, like, I don't know. I'm gonna retake this third.
Could still win, yeah.
Is Demorsh still mining from either of the bottom bases?
Barely from...
Yeah, but it's about to stop.
Although his bank was so big.
Yeah, he still has 7k.
Yeah, he should just go refugee and recalls. Because if he's kept producing arbiters, he should probably have enough arbiters and whatnot that he can hit some recalls. Because probably, in the midst of all the attacking, Foxbat's probably not laying many mines or turrets up at top left.
He could just recall on the factories, to be honest. Like, there's some...
Or maybe that, yeah.
main base, but, like, there's none... Right
What's the bank? What's the
Oh.
bank sitting at for Foxbat? Has he burned through his bank?
Yeah, he's at, like, 600.
Yeah.
He wasn't
No.
mining for a while. He retook his third just now.
Was he mining? Is he mining top or bottom left of the top left bases?
No. He's just finishing killing that.
No. Sorry. Is he mining the bottom left base of the two top left bases?
Long distance.
What? He has a command center there. How did he lose a command center?
No, Demorsh killed it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he hit a
Yeah.
recall there.
So he did recall there. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say at this point, yeah, he should just kind of keep recalling. Like keep recalling and like make Foxbat try to like go up one of his ramps, and then just be really efficient there, and then possibly just do like a defensive recall when part of Foxbat's army tries to go up a ramp or something. Finish it off.
It's like no probes. Well, I mean, he's not really mining, but he has no probes at it.
Yeah. All right, let's see here.
I don't know anything about TVP.
Well, as a Zerg player, that is understandable. All right, so we have.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually the wrong one.
Foxbat is actually mined out right now. He is building a command center. He has 10 minerals.
10 minerals. That's pretty rich. That's pretty rich. 10 solid minerals.
Just please don't walk your army into mines. Please don't walk your army into mines.
I think he might still win.
Foxbat or?
Demorsh.
No. Please.
Yeah, Demorsh should win. If you
He
lose
keeps
it,
sitting his arbiters like in front of turrets and then just leaving them there.
Okra, I can't show the game because I am not in the game. I'm in the lobby. I'm getting like radio updates from the two people that are still in the game. It's like radio cast, and I'm trying to like picture in my head what I think is happening.
Everything died. These guys have such good games.
They do have good games. I can attest to that fact.
Oh, he macroed during that fight.
Oh, yeah, boy. Ah, Bad Penny arrives at the channel. He.
Oh, at least one.
All right. In the end, Least was able to win a game that he definitely should have won. That he was very, very, very far ahead in that game. All right. Well, the savage battle has ended, so we'll go into our next savage battle.
I got locked out.
All right. Let's see. Ladder. FS. Melee. Boom. Is that a Danny? No.
Why?
Do 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 do. Nice scout. Alright, I guess I'll play against Bad Penny. I'm not sure. I'll play one and wake myself up. In the last engage, you made zealots. Yeah. Ah! Shit. Okay, we're good. No, we're not. Gotta hockey the hatchery. There we go. Alright, so Bad Penny, the games I played against him, he's played pretty aggressively. So I'm gonna go 12 hatch, but I'm kind of expecting him to play pretty aggressive. He seems to like the 2-gate. So we shall see if that is what he does. And then the main thing, I guess particularly Strom, since you're the Zerg player here, is basically trying to balance making your drones with making your lings. Like if you make a bunch of lings, you're just in a bad spot.
Wait,
And
what did you say?
like I said, probably Bad Penny is going to 2-gate. Like, from what I've seen of him, he mostly just 2-gates. So I was going to say, if he does that, I can kind of talk a little bit about 2-gate. But it's mainly getting the right balance between lings and drones to defend, and making sure you don't tank your economy.
Yeah. Hatch first is better against 2-gate, isn't it?
I like it a lot better. Now, if it's a proxy 9-9, everything is hard, and hatch first is way worse. But it's hard.
What do you think about 11 hatch?
I forget who it was. I don't know too much about it. I remember there's some people talking about it.
Does it all the time.
Yeah, he probably has better thoughts and like analysis on it, but like if he thinks it's decent, I would say it's pretty safe to assume it's decent up to at least 2.5k plus MMR.
Yeah, he says, I think his reasoning is that if they go with zealot opening, you still get your hatch up and your lings come out as the zealot gets to your base, whereas with like 12 hatch, they're a little bit later, so you don't have to micro with drones as much. but the only thing is it's taking cannon rush you.
No, I think he's 2-gating, but I'm not going to just assume he's 2-gating, so I'm going to send a drone over to my third. And of course, if I do see 2-gate or 1-base, well, if I see 1-base play, I don't know. But if I see 2-gate play, then I will definitely not take this third base. That would be highly unwise. And I already see a Zealot on the ramp. So that's enough to tell me that I probably don't want to make this hatchery over here. And I see that he hasn't come right across the map. So I'm just going to put down this hatchery. Alright, so I get confirmation that he's going to 2-gate me. Because I see 3 Zealots now. We're going to make some wings. We're going to get a creep up. And if you're kind of late with it, a lot of times it's okay if you need to throw down 2, just to make sure that at least one of them gets up. And then I'm already feeling pretty good about this. I feel like I've got plenty of time, so I'm going to start making a few drones, get an Overlord making here in just a sec. Oh, he's pulling a lot of probes. Well, this just got weird. A few more lings, since he's being pretty aggressive with this.
I haven't really been watching BSL, but I did watch that one game that was like, I think it was Nemu.
Yeah, yeah.
Versus like, I think, was it Sugo? I don't know the foreign players that well.
We'll see if Bad Penny recognizes.
It felt like...
But I actually made a pretty big mistake here, I think. I don't believe my Sunkens cover my third base. If he figures that out, he can actually really be annoying for me. But here I just have to watch Zealot count, because if he just like absolutely masses Zealots, I could be in some form of trouble. And I am waiting on my Overlord to see what he's doing in base. Okay, I just see nothing but Zealot streaming in. So I'm just going to keep adding Sunkens, because, well, I don't want to die. He does have gas, though.
You just go Nita? Is that what you do?
You could. I might here. Although I didn't tech that fast. And so yeah, he did find that he can attack this hatch, which is pretty smart for him. I don't know if he can kill it. Ah, here's that lag thing. I don't even think you guys can hear me during this, though, can you? Oh, did we crash? No, we're okay. That was weird. Ah, that is super annoying. But I've made pretty good economy during this. I've got a Hydra Den coming. I've got like 4 sunks, so I'm gonna run around with these wings. Like honestly, these sunks are probably an overreaction.
The back 2 don't really hit, huh?
They're not protecting my hatchery. It wasn't the best choice of sunk location.
Okay. So like a little bit more forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the main thing I want to see here is if
a
he's
lot on ladder.
just not making sure the hatch is covered by the Sunkens, because like he could just, and he almost did. So I don't actually see any Dragoons, because like I was just worried if he was going to do some Dragoon build, I would not want to go maybe for Lurkers quite as fast. But we're not seeing that. We are seeing a course for sure. So we're going to make a few Hydra, maybe. Alright, now I have speed, which is kind of fun. Oh, he's got a lot of Zealots. Oh shit, I just made 3 Overlords. Fuck, didn't want to do that. Oh, not a good shot right there.
so good.
What are?
Seedling.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
they're
I'm,
fun.
like, talking
They're
with
fun.
My hand.
But I see he only got zealots, and I see he's not I see he's got no robo. So like, I feel really safe right now, because like he can't do anything to me with just these little lots.
Yeah. Oh.
So you know.
Okay.
So I'm making like quite a few drones, to be honest. I did put some overlords in stupid spots though. Come back here! Don't let the Corsairs kill them! No! Overlord, run for your life! He's not watching it, so we're gonna wait till we attack it.
This kind of harass is so infuriating.
He'll have a what do you call it? He'll have like my third base will not have enough defense that he actually could come in here if he gets speed lots, which I'm sure he is at some point. That it could be pretty annoying for me because I won't be able to actually keep the base alive if he recognizes that he's at that kind of an advantage. I'm gonna start Lurker Morph here, and then I'm gonna make a few more.
To trying to take, maybe not, I guess, because your units.
And I'm just gonna make some lurkers, start getting my what do you call it? Muscular speed upgrade. Oh, I saw he didn't have a robo, so like there's not gonna be detection for a while. So he could try something crazy like running in and trying to snipe my third base here, but he can't actually like kill me. Even if he runs in with like a big zealot attack.
What did you scout that had you put 4 slump pins in your natural?
Not scouting, it was just the fact that he was like constantly making zealots, and so I was just playing it a little extra safe. I probably didn't need 4, but I felt like he was just going all in for zealots and not like really making any tech or doing anything like that, so I felt reasonably safe.
Was like hyper aggressive brigade.
Like he was making pure zealots non-stop, so he wasn't expanding. There was no pause in his like zealot production. Just a bunch of things like that made me think, okay, I don't really think this guy can actually like attack me. Ah! Why are you making all these random? He makes really random Corsairs. I'm not doing a very good job scouting though. I need a few lings to help scout. And I also made a mistake by not getting, what do you call it, range? Sorry, not range. OB speed fast enough. So I can't really go, I could maybe, but I can't really safely contain him the way I would like to. Now I've got some wings out, I can at least check bases, which is pretty important. See what he's up to, see where he is on the map. Ah, we see he's out on the map, but with just zealots. So, okay, so he doesn't have a third base, which is nice. And I guess he's feels behind enough to say GG.
Interesting. Yeah, that was quite the GG.
So, you know, Most likely, I think he was just a little too focused on just pure zealot. I'm gonna go through the replay really quick, but let's see here. Autosave.
You're going through the replay?
Yeah, just real quick. Give me 1 sec here. I'm actually gonna double check my internet. Hopefully it won't crash. It should be fine. Check all my specs and stuff. Alright, 18, we're fine there. Alright, well I don't see anything inherently weird. Let's see, video, just check this real quick. Alright, so let's see what we had happen here in this rep. So yeah, Bad Penny's going 2-gate, nothing wrong with that. He's cross map, which sucks for him. It's a bit unfortunate. Not exactly the draw you would want to have there. He's coming across. So pulling 2 probes, I don't like. I guess you can catch Protoss off guard, but like it's 12 hatch, it's 12 hatch. So there's going to be 2 hatches of link production, and if you wanted to do this, the big thing Bad Penny could do is take this probe and really try to deny and slow these Sunkens, because then that can actually be a problem. And also against 12 hatch, you actually want to come across with the first Zealot. That's a lot more powerful than coming across with 3. Because then by that time I'll have made lings, I have plenty of time to get Sunkens up. If you immediately bring the probe and the first Zealot, then you can start harassing at the natural and keep the Sunkens from going down, and then that's uncomfortable for Zerg. But when I can just make the Sunkens like this, like I'm 100% safe. There's nothing this can do. And so he's got Zealots, he's actually queuing up even more Zealots. So basically he just makes too many Zealots. If you're playing 2 gateway, you want to either grab the tech fairly fast and go into your tech, or you just need to expand off of probably like 5 Zealot expand or maybe 3 Zealot tech. So now he's got too many Zealots that I'm easily able to defend, and his tech is late and there's no expansion. So I'm just pretty far ahead, and I can tell this because he's just streaming in Zealots uninterrupted. So I just play extra defensively, probably more defensively than I had to. But I mostly make drones. I add a Sunken here and there as my drone count goes up, and I mean, I just know I'm getting a pretty solid economy behind this. He does tech, but it's not as fast as it needs to be. And then he throws away a few Zealots here. And honestly, at this point, I will say it can start to get a little bit risky for Bad Penny if he's not careful, because I could have link speed. I don't quite have it yet, but I could be going for it. And if I'm going for it really fast and I just have all these Sunkens and I just run my lings past and around, then I can deny the expansion, pick off reinforcing Zealots. I can do a lot of annoying things with my Zerlings. Supply is pretty good. He's obviously producing pretty heavily. He is probing up reasonably well. But he doesn't put the core down right away. Like, he continues to make Zealots, I think. Let's see here. Okay, he does get his core down, but it's not super fast. And see, here he's finding that spot on the hatchery. Where he should have been able to kill it. This is a mistake. Like, these Sunkens, this hatchery, they do not protect this edge of the hatchery, so it's a bad hatchery position. And I could have been punished for that pretty bad. And losing that hatchery would have become a pretty big deal. It would have really sucked. So let's see, he gets his core. Okay, he does go pretty promptly into the Stargate, so that's not bad. But now, at this point, I've got a pretty good economy. You know, I've got solid drones at both of my bases. Not amazing drones, but like reasonable drones. And I'm going up to lair, and I'm going to go into lurkers. And then I get these lings in here, which is pretty disrupting. You can see I'm at a pretty good supply against him. Unfortunately, he didn't have anything back to block the ramp. And so now I get in and I see, okay, well, he's not citadeling, so I know there's not going to be Templar. I know there's not going to be any aggression like that. He's like just going Corsair, which isn't that scary. And there's no Robo, so I know there can't be detection. So I'm like, well, I like my tech path choice of lurkers here. He's got a lot of zealots, so I didn't like Mass Hydra as much. And so I know, okay, I can just make lurkers, I can take a third base, and I'll be in a really great spot. And that's pretty much what happens. Let's see, did he get that Corsair out right away, or did he get a little distracted? Ah, I went back not far enough. Oh, very nice. Okay, so he did an excellent job getting that Corsair out right away, so that was good. I think there just needs to be more of a tech path than just Corsair. In fact, I would almost say, well, you kind of need a Corsair stat, but there's probably got to be a Citadel following that up immediately. I mean, there's plenty of gas from Bad Penny, so the Citadel's very, very slow relative to gas. Like, tech is a huge priority in PvZ, and just Corsairs, like, they're annoying, but they won't do much by themselves, in and of themselves. Oh wow, I really overmatered. Don't do this, guys. If you look at my natural, I only left 5 drones there. That's bad. Don't mater that many. Economically, Bad Penny's still in an okay spot. It's not like amazing, but he's still in an okay position. And then let's see here what happens. Adding a few gates, which is good. He's got his... I don't know why he GG'd, I don't think. Like, he didn't have a robo started, I don't... Oh, he's got a what the fuck? Why did he GG? What? Like, he's got a lot of zealots, but he's got a good bank. He's making dragoons. He literally has a... He's making an observer right now. What the fuck? That's the most... That's Anthem level GG. That is an Anthem level GG right there. Dude was fine. Alright, well. Okay. Like, I was figuring he GG'd because he, like, didn't have a robo started or something. And I was like, okay, well, I guess if you don't have a robo and I just lurker contained you, yeah, you're in bad shape. But he had a good army. And if he would have made Templar a little faster, he would have been in a position to be really, really scary, to be honest. That was not poorly played at all by Bad Penny. So I guess the moral of the story from that game is, don't GG too fast, people. Alright, who wants it? Foxbat's obviously ready to go. Oh, Laser Snipe is here, but he's not going to play. 16 want it? Gamble, you want to go, or do you want me to go? Either way is just fine. Okay, I'll go. I'll play a game against Foxbat. Cool.
Wait, what about ZVT? Can we see ZVT?
You want me to go ZVT? Alright, I can try ZVT.
Yep.
This will actually be hard for me, I think. I'm not particularly great at ZVT. Particularly because my Meta Micro sucks.
I played Foxbat ZVT like... must have been 12 times yesterday.
Oh, nice. Overlord, go!
I was just trying to figure out how to do that lurker build. Because it was like the build order was wrong.
Okay, yeah, I'll try.
It was a bad build over.
I'll try doing that. I'll try playing that way. See how it goes.
Okay. Okay.
I can try that. 3-hatch, just a 3-hatch lurk.
I mean, yeah, the builder that I was using was terrible, which was part of the like.
Yeah,
the reason
sometimes that is a problem.
Because I was using the one off Liquipedia and it was really outdated. But so like we fixed the build order, but I don't know. People were just recommending not to do it, but like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It's
I gotcha.
hard to
Yeah.
believe as in lag.
So if Liquipedia is generally outdated, what's like the best reference for contemporary build orders?
Watching VODs.
Asking people, kind of knowing them, watching VODs, just asking for people. And Wikipedia is only, like, sometimes it's good, but a lot of times it's outdated. So it's like, it makes it hard to know, can I trust this?
Common ones are okay, I think.
There's like some good guides on TL too, though, like on the website, like in strategy and other places. Some people have posted nice guides if you know where to look.
I'm gonna do this without music.
Yeah, I think a big challenge for me starting out with there's so much sources of information that is mostly the same but slightly different. Maybe some buildings are swapped, or you get 2 goons before you do something there's none, and then it's kind of hard to understand the differences or sort out what you should do. So I just picked one and I'm just sticking with it and see.
Yeah, that's not a bad way to go. Until you like completely understand, oh, well this is why at this time I should do this or shouldn't do that. Sticking with one thing usually works okay, particularly for an opening.
Well, like when we were working on the build yesterday,
Yeah.
it was like we'd play it a couple times, see what was going wrong, and then like try and figure out how to change the build. It only took like about 5 tries to get it figured out.
Sure.
Up to the third day. So if you just like if you have a build and you keep losing with it like a specific way,
Yep.
then like maybe just run it against somebody like 8 times and like figure out what's going wrong and change it a little bit. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and when you start to get really comfortable with it too, another thing that is not bad to do is find a guy that's like B or A and play just a few games against them, and that gives you a feeling for how the timing is like shaking out. And if you're like suddenly finding that, oh, my third base dies every time, like my shit isn't done, that's telling you, okay, there's something I'm doing a little bit wrong with my build order.
Yeah, like I wasn't getting hydros to my third base quick enough. And we like ran it a whole bunch of times and figured out that like on Wikipedia it says to start building hydros at like halfway through lurker aspect, but you have to build 3 right when you get your hydro down, like right after lurker aspect, to get to your third base and then build the 3 for your
Yeah.
after, yeah.
Where's the other one? Oh, there it is.
I guess it's also tricky as a new player, where if you fail, or you screw something up, it's not always clear if it's because you didn't have the build or were timing like really tight, or if the build was just not appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can kind of use your common sense. I don't know. But
if it's something that's continuous, like strong, continuously losing because you didn't have lurker sometime, you know it's probably the build. Because if you've done it 12 times in a row, you're probably gonna have the timing is reasonably tight.
yeah, and like it was weird because like I was playing some Terran who were like at the same level as me or not as good, and I get it up just fine because they'd be late moving out. But then like whenever I played somebody who kind of knew what they were doing, it would just die because they were moving
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn it. I looked everywhere for that. He must have hit it behind the minerals at the third. So that's a pretty nice scout from Least, or not Least. Give me my minerals! Okay. Okay, I'm gonna turret up. Playing defensively against my lurks. How the hell does that turret see me? Did he scan? Did he scan for that? That's interesting.
Wait, what?
Oh, just something died. Like the turret almost killed my overlord. And I was just wondering if he scanned for that. It was kind of weird.
When did you make that Evo changes?
Fairly recently ago, I guess. God damn, this guy's later than I wanted him to be. Ah, go up here. Oh, I made a pretty late Queen's Nest, though. Where is he? What the fuck? Where are you, buddy? Oh, there you are.
The creep colony at the third.
Yeah, it's just kind of like an anti-harassment kind of thing or whatever.
Okay.
Where'd that other lurk go? Huh. What the fuck? God, I'm getting the stupidest supply blocks ever. Shit. That matchup more than any other matchup, my god. It feels just like you have to be so fast. I feel like I'm not even close to doing anything I want to do.
Yeah, I was falling apart there as well.
What do you say?
I was falling apart there as well.
Wait, sorry, say one more time? I still don't understand.
I was falling apart.
Oh, falling apart, yeah. It's hard from Terran's side too. In either side. It just feels like, oh my god.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that game.
Yeah, that one, I'll take a quick look at it here. I want to see, I don't do lurker openings a ton, so I want to see why it felt like you got behind.
There's no game sound, by the way. Is that intentional?
No, that's not intentional. Sorry, what was the question you were asking, Strom?
Oh, I was just gonna say to Fox that you didn't deny his 4th at all. Which was really good when you were doing it to me. But I didn't catch exactly why.
It was because he was lurking out in the middle of the map, and I was on my tech. So I was worried about hopefully some lurkers and such.
Apparently everybody's having issues with chopping streams. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Something contagious from the CPO cast.
Yeah, like, but no, people are saying like there's even a little bit of chopping appearing on my stream, so I don't know. But now we've got like 3 people that have had chopping issues, which is pretty weird. So it might be something weird going on with Twitch. I don't know.
Your voice got a lot better, by the way, so I don't know.
Okay, it might just be positioned in the way I'm talking in the mic. I don't know. Alright, so let's see. Hydrogen, layer, hydrogen, layer, hydrogen, layer. Lurker goes down the second we have money. Alright, so what are you doing here? You're going... So you're going to stick what you're sticking with +1 5 racks. Okay. I'm not super experienced with this to know... I know against 2 hatch lurker you're definitely supposed to go 2 racks. I don't know if the same is true against this.
I think Justin said that. Because I remember the first game that I played on your stream, I did 3 hatch lurker and he killed 2 SUVs and went 2 racks academy.
Okay.
And when you were going over the game, I think he said that that was a hard build to play against with 3 hatch lurker. I don't know.
Okay. So let's see, you're coming out here now. Do you have... Yeah, so I got pretty fast. So yeah, you don't have range done yet, obviously. So that's part of why you were tentative. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this does feel kind of bad for you. Because you obviously can't stop my 3rd base. And I've got enough to be okay at home. Let's see here. Let's see where you go. Like, if you would have gone straight to my 3rd, maybe you could have gotten there, but I can also understand why you wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, especially since you don't have much in the way of scan and stuff. You do get a pretty fast factory. I think you have to do that. Okay, so we go in there. Okay, poked at my 3rd. Let's see how quickly something goes up after this starport. Ah, no! There's a delayed vessel! Oh, okay, this is where... I don't know about this. I don't know about taking a fast 3rd and delaying your vessels for it. I don't think that's a good idea. Because, like, if I just am allowed to do what I want, that's usually pretty good if Zerg can just kind of power away. And we can see supply-wise, I'm in a pretty comfortable position. Okay, so... yeah, you, like, way delayed it. So there's just nothing you could have done right now pressuring. And if I would have realized that, I could have just contained you even harder. Because you only have scans. Okay, now you start it. And you missed any sort of window to have a timing. Like, we'll take a look at this here and see how the timing plays out. Let's see when you could have started it versus when your vessel or when your science facility actually starts. So we finished the starport at 7:40. And how long do we take before we place the science facility? In-game seconds. Okay, basically a minute of waiting on the science facility. And let's see how much delay there was to the vessel. Okay, the vessel was pretty much immediate. And then let's see how quick the push comes. Definitely you don't want to sit back in your nat, honestly, because then I can just like I already got to burrow them pretty far forward, but the more further forward I can burrow, the more work you have to do to push me back. So let's see when you actually get your vessel here. All right, so 10:27, you have your vessel. But now let's imagine you were going to push, if you'd done everything faster, and let's look at like 9:20, like a minute earlier, and see what would have happened if you would have pushed then, and if it looks better for you. Yeah, at that point, my hive at 9:27, imagine moving out now. My hive is just finished, my spire's just coming up. That's a scary push, because my defilers are coming down, but my den is just making, like you would have been probably at my base by now, and this would have been very scary. I've got some lurkers morphing. I don't have a lot of units there. I have a defiler mound that's not done. And yeah, but as it is, your vessels aren't even out yet. So now I'm able to start consume at the same time as your vessels. And yeah, you just don't have that timing anymore. So I think that's like delaying, like yeah, you've got third base economy, which is pretty cool, but you don't have double starport or even triple starport, which you probably should with the third base, and you didn't add a bunch of racks. And of course, by doing that, you gave up your chance to have the timing where you just hit me hard. And so now, basically by the time you get here, I have defilers out with consume and you can't do anything. And I've been able to drone quite a bit. I have good supply. The first vessel goes down, and I think from there, it's just you're in kind of rough shape. Macro's okay, but definitely need more racks. Okay, we're adding a few more starports and racks, so that's good, but I'm ready to defend over here. And of course, with one starport, you can't really go into a lot of drops. So yeah, I think you just didn't really have many options, and then I just had too much economy. And I mean, now I've got 4 gases, and that's kind of a nightmare situation. And then this part here went really bad for you, unfortunately. I hit some like good plagues, and basically you kind of ran in here, and I killed most of this army, so that was a huge loss. And then at the same time, I was able to sneak a defiler over here, and you know that's just beginning of the end now. You're like 20 supply down. And let's see, I'm at 2-1 ups. What are your ups? Your ups are 1. So I'm actually ahead of you now in ups, and I'm upgrading still. So I'm upgrading really fast this game. And you are upgrading your ups, but I've got a significant upgrade advantage. And now your third is getting harassed, and just, yeah. So yeah, at this point it's definitely over. I just got way too much. Let's see, at 1 level, replays, no. I always go to replays. One day. We could do Strom versus Gamble. That's probably a pretty even match.
It's not. He wrecks me, but we can try.
Does he? Okay. Well, we can watch a little ZVP. Okay. Because I thought Gamble said he was about 1,200 or something, but let's see. Let's switch.
I
there.
think he's higher than that, and I'm like lower than that. So. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Foxbat, you can go Terran and lift.
Wait, so am I gonna play?
Yeah, you against
Okay.
Gamble.
Okay, 1 sec.
Can you move me out of the channel?
Move who? No, you just gotta go and mute your mic and your headset.
Just 1 sec. Don't go yet.
Yeah, just mute everything so you can't hear us.
Hey, how are you? How you doing?
Hello.
I believe Strom. Strom has a supporter.
Yeah, I believe it's strong.
So Strom, before we go into this game, I'll do the same thing.
Already.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Do 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 do. Okay, both players are here, and I'm gonna be BRB bathroom.
Alright, in the top left position, the Eagles we got wrong.
Squats.
At the bottom left position, as the Orange Cross, we got Gamble. So it's gonna be a PVZ, CVP, however you want to say it. So I actually favor Strom in this matchup. Just since I know her more than Gamble, and what I saw from Gamble, he seemed to very lack on his he lacked a lot of gateways from his game I saw earlier against Foxbat. And Bro King, please. So we're gonna see a pylon in the natural, so nothing suspicious. Unless you want a Canada rush.
Ich habe angekommt. Wir are back now, and we have
Welcome
Stromkarlen
back. I already introduced the players a little
versus
bit.
16 Blue, who's going to make a pylon at the natural. I think he's going to probably expand, but I doubt we'll see a 2-base in gateway.
This is risky by Gamble. He has not scouted Strong. He's going to blind 12 next.
Is he actually going next first? This cheeky
Yeah.
Dink Waffle. Or is he gonna make a late forge? He's going 11 next. Actually, this is not so bad. You can actually get away with 11 nexus here. Yeah, he should probably have a different wall. Although this wall does allow you to do something pretty cute where you can do like an emergency
This one has
forge
a
black.
good wall too.
Of course he's gonna get away with this. He's gonna get away with it because Stromkarlen is 12 hatching, so life is peachy key.
Well, this is, if you're doing it in a series, yeah, this is a good blind build.
Yeah, bottom left and top right on this map, you can go 11 next against Overpool and be okay. The one advantage of this wall, though, is if you go forge here, and then you go gateway here, right? Or similar combination, you can emergency forge down here and actually make like a tight setup if you like really need it. So there are some cute ways to defend here. I'm gonna go straight into that cannon. Okay, so he did not need to make the cannon first. Should always go gateway first against a 12 at Zerg. No need for that first cannon. He always isn't scouted. Okay.
He didn't scout her, so...
Okay, then I guess he's got a blind cannon. I don't like this gateway positioning. I don't like this wall at all. In fact, this wall is...
It's up on the left side of the forge and
So,
the gateway.
yeah, so this wall, the forge needs to be tight to the wall on the left, and then the gateway needs to be... like, honestly, this wall could be fixed.
Fine. Just need to move
This wall could be fixed by sliding this forge, like, 1 hex to the left, and then there's, like, a nice little gap in the middle that you can slide on through. Third base for Strom, and she's getting her gas up, so it looks like a pretty standard build. So let's see if the lair starts crisply. Come on, Strom, you can do it.
Okay, so
that lair?
We got a expansion at 12 for Strom, so standard free hatch.
Strom gets speed first. I think she did, because her gas disappeared.
Yeah, those are speedlings.
I don't think she has speed yet.
That's unusual, because you should... Normally, you get the lair first before you get speed in this matchup. She has the gas and minerals for... Okay,
Strom should send a Ling back to get rid of the probe. Should be 1100 or so for Strom. Maybe 13 for Gamble?
I think 100 or so for Gamble. Oh.
No, yeah, Lings don't have speed yet, but I do think Strom went Ling speed first, which she shouldn't do unless she wants to do something with
I
speed
honestly
lanes.
want to do some sort of
Oh,
like
shit.
Land.
Artosis just hosted the stream. Oh my gosh, there's gonna be way too many people watching this game.
Wait, what? Artosis?
Yeah, thanks Artosis.
Oh my god.
If you guys are tuning in, this is just a little bit of taking a look at FED kind of games and talking about some basic things that newer players can do for improvement. So yeah, we're watching Strom Carlin here playing against Gamble, also known as 16 Blue. We got a Stargate coming up. That looks to be quite nicely timed. That probably went down about 4:15 or so. I think the build time on that's about 45 seconds. So we'll have a good Corsair timing here from Gamble, and going into his Citadel. And let's see, he's probably got +1, yeah, just judging by his gas. And Strom Carlin, she has gone for the speed, and she's on top of the cannon, but unfortunately...
Really forced around by
yeah, she's going to sneak 2 in, though, so at least she'll get some scouting info. She'll know the Corsair timing. However, oh wait, she canceled her lair? She had a lair morphing, and she must have canceled it. Ooh, this is going to get ugly with the... Well, the Corsair hasn't started making yet. So that's, I guess, good for her. And, let's see, Gamble's getting his second Zealot. So we're going to have a little bit of +1 speed pressure.
She's being annoying with the link.
Hey,
And now my
Eldraine,
link
thanks for
dies.
following.
The link died to a probe.
But she's trying to come back in with more Lings, which she could kind of go Ling all in from here. But she needs to figure out how to get through this wall and surround the cannon. But unfortunately, the Lings are blocking really well from Gamble. Oh, fuck. StarCraft just died. Hang on. I hate that when that happens. You Alt-Tab and it dies.
Yeah, it looks like Strong is actually going for a streamline of Zerglings. So.
Alright, so we will restart Brood War up. Give me half a sec. I don't know if it's been doing... I don't know if this has been happening to anybody else, but when I am playing Brood War and I tab out, it wants to die sometimes. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that. Mr. Trixie, hey, thanks for following. Alright, so we'll pop back over here. Back into StarCraft. And I guess while we wait for them to finish, we'll go ahead and play a random ladder game. Because why not? Hopefully we won't get too long of a wait. But yeah, looking at that game, what we saw there, if she Lings all in, if she gets the cannons, she can definitely win. You usually want 2 or 3 cannons to defend a Ling all in, oftentimes 3. But she was having a hell of a hard time getting through that cannon, and the Zealots were blocking pretty effectively. And if you have enough Lings, then you can just attack the gateway and bring the gateway down, because that's the danger of 1 cannon. Obviously, you can block your choke and be super efficient, but with 1 cannon, there's not enough DPS, so the Lings can just attack the Lings can just attack the gateway, and then the gate goes down, and you just die. JC, were you in Artie Channel or Elmaster? Joel Chin, I think, was in here. Alright, so we have a Protoss, and we are... PvP. Meh. Elmaster, brother. Yeah? Huh. No way! Alright, well, I don't have a ton of confidence in PvP, because my Dream Micro is terrible, and my Reaver Micro is mediocre, so it's not a good combination for PvP. I'll probably do 3-gate robo-obs. Just a nice safe PvT build, or PvP build. Doesn't really put you ahead against a whole lot of stuff, but it doesn't put you behind against a whole lot of stuff, and you can basically hold the vast majority of things with it. Movie actually has a really nice guide on, or not, well, Movie made a video guide to it, and then there was a nice translation that was done about Movie's 3-gate obs on TL. So if you're looking for just like a good, safe Protoss build, I would recommend reading that. Movie says this is one of his go-to builds, particularly if he feels confident that he's better than somebody, and just feels that if he gets a nice standard safe game, he can go into this 3-gate robo-ob build. But it's basically gate robo into obs, and then add 2 gates, and you get 6 or 7 goons, expand, and go into Reavers, depending on what your opponent's doing, and progress from there. Ah! What are we doing with these probes? What are we doing with these probes?
Oh, did you guys start another game?
I just went into a ladder game real quick, because Broodwar was being dumb. Who won? Strum, did you or Gamble end up winning that?
Oh, Gamble won.
Okay, I couldn't tell if you were gonna go Ling all in and try to win.
No, I definitely went Ling all in. I never beat him, so
Okay.
I tried.
You probably could have.
Also never all in. So.
Yeah, you probably could have made that Ling all in work, because he only had 1 cannon, but.
Yeah, he blocked the hole with zealots really well though. So I don't know. Yeah, and then I was like, oh, because I was gonna do Ling all in, but then the probe left. So really, I should have had your invested a lot earlier than you did.
Yeah,
But
did you end up losing Overlords of the Corsair? Because it looked like you went Ling speed first, and then didn't do a ton with the Lings.
I was thinking about it because I was gonna do 5-head Hydra, and then I was like, I don't.
I would say in most
I
cases.
I can't beat Gamble with 5-head Hydra, so.
Yeah, I would say in most cases only go speed first if you have something in mind that you really want to do with the Lings, right?
Yeah, I was gonna do a Ling all in. That was my plan.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I made a layer, and then when he was in my base, and I canceled it because I figured he wouldn't check how much hit points it was, so he wouldn't know that I went.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was wondering about that, because I saw you had Lair, and then I was like, oh no, she doesn't have
I
Lair.
started it and then canceled it, and I made it again later since I was floating a lot of money. So.
Yeah. Ah! Yes, we made it inside. Oh, but the probe ninja'd me on accident. It wasn't even on attack. No. Alright, so we got a robo here. Now we're gonna make gateways.
Does that early zealot buy you in PvP?
It's just a little bit safer. A little bit safer. Some few options to use it for some micro stuff. Whereas if you if you are getting especially 2-gated, and you just go without that early zealot, then it's really annoying to defend 2-gate. Whereas if you have it, it makes it quite a bit more reasonable to defend.
Yeah, because I've seen variations like zealot, core zealot, just core then zealot, and then sometimes no zealot at all.
Yeah, basically the trade-offs is if you get the zealot, you don't lose dragoon count from it, but what you do lose is you have to cut a probe. So it's basically you trade a probe to have a faster zealot, and then if you go straight dragoon, then you don't have to cut the economy. Okay, so I only saw 1 gate, so that's always a possibility this guy's going DT. So we're gonna kind of gently sweep with the obs here, and then we can start sending the obs across. And yeah, we got it right. See, that's why you gotta be ready for this. But now it's pretty nice because I can actually catch these guys. Now, if he hasn't built cannons fast enough, I'm going to win. And if he has, then we'll go from there. And I'm going to make another obs. Keep a dragoon home here in case he does come back and harass with DTs. Oh, he's smart about this. Okay. Let's see what he's got up here. Oh, there's a DT there, huh? Alright, well, he's got enough to defend. But he doesn't have an expansion. He's gonna go to a third gate. So it's kind of like if I defend, I'm in a wonderful spot. We're good.
Oh shit.
See, is he making a robo? Because if he's not, I'm just going to go straight into DTs myself, and he won't be able to do anything. And he's not, so I think I can just go into DT, or into Templar and win. Unless I'm missing something with my scouting. Probably not a bad idea just to check for hidden bases. I don't really feel like he has an answer. Hopefully I haven't misseen this and somehow... Ah! Oh shit, run the fuck away. Nope, he's dead. So I'll have these DTs coming out. Should be able to defend the attack, send one across the map. We'll do a little double check here for hidden bases. He's reinforcing with speed lots, so that means chill back here. Dragoons, you guys can get out of the way anytime you want. That'd be wonderful. My probes are actually not helping me here. Come on, let's go. I don't really know why this guy is still kind of going at this, but... A little bit sloppy there at the end, but got it done. I don't know why he stayed in that long. Alright, now we'll go back into our next hosting. Alright. 4Ws/1. Let's do it. Not on bottleneck, though. We will spare you guys all the horror of seeing a game on bottleneck. Of course, bottleneck being an original, just Blizz map game. Alright, who wants to play?
Who's Laser Snipe?
Thanks for following Suicide King, by the way. And everybody else that I might not have acknowledged. Who is Laser Snipe? Laser Snipe is none other than the organizer of the CPL.
Oh, okay.
So who wants to play? Any volunteers? Anybody raising their hand? We could play against Joel. Yeah, if Joel Chan's coming, we could do Strom versus Joel Chan. Is Joel Chan coming?
Yeah. I don't know, but we had some good games earlier today. We're like really evenly matched.
Nice. When is Elmaster Bloodbath series? That'd be entertaining. We could do that. We could do a couple Bloodbath games. Just open it up to anybody and just fuck around on Bloodbath at some point here. Like now. Or like after this next game or two. And hello, Wade Master. How you doing, man? I remember Bloodbath back in the day. Yeah, good old 2-second rush distance. The Zealot pops out. It's basically in the opponent's base. I think it's literally probably 10 or 15 steps of the Zealot to actually reach the other base. What's good? Hey, it's T-Bell Forever, man. How you doing? All right, Joel Chan's on his way. Sweet.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go Joel Chan versus Strom, and then after that we'll have Arya versus Throw.
Okay, this is on Fighting Spirit.
Yeah.
Great. I don't know how to SimCity.
Well, I can kind of try to explain it, but the basic gist is you're going to have your one hatchery, and then you put your other hatchery up next to one of the cliffs, and then just put it just enough so the building like kind of fits right in between the two, and then you're more or less good.
Yeah, it's the third that's hard.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, wait, 1 second.
What's up? What's up? Oh, you just wanted to pause your mic? Oh, okay. All right, 1 sec. 1 sec it'll be. Gonna lose regardless. Might as well go out in style. Throw King, Demorsh, have more confidence, my boy. Although Arya is pretty decent. And he's a genius for a low APM Terran. It's pretty unusual to see Terrans with 100 APM, 110 APM that are at B rank. It's when you know you're being efficient. Okay, Strom is ready. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Joel Chan taking on Strom here. Looking at sort of a, I guess you could say low E level, I think is roughly where we're at as far as play. Let's see here. We can ally them, but we don't want to share vision. These SCVs die. Vision! Nope. Oh, that's close, but it's not a double kill. One of them will die before the other, I think. Yeah. Dope. Alright, so we got Strom as our Zerg here in the bottom right-hand position. And I'm just hiding over here with my command center. Whoa, we don't have to pause. That's unnecessary, but okay. I guess if you're trying to find it for the first time, we will sympathize. No! Oh, the dance is really cool, yeah, where you make all 4 SCVs just like go in sync around the gas. It's quite beautiful, actually. Alright, there we go. Now we got vision from both players. I've got a CC floating to its correct spot.
It's
Life is good. It's what?
It's an art.
An art? Oh, yeah. StarCraft art. Best art. Okay, Alright, so Joel Chan's gonna come down here. Please be a Forge. Forge? Yeah! He's got the wall right, as long as he doesn't put the gateway here. Gateway goes right there. Flush on the left, flush on the right, flush on the left. One hex wall in the middle. Nice row of cans behind. Wonderful. Easy position to wall on Fighting Spirit. And... okay. Well, we're thinking some cannons. Strom better send our Overlord there. I'm a little scared for her. A little scared for her. But he needs to make more than just the... oh, it depends on if Strom sees it. Overlord, please. No! No, the Overlord's headed the wrong way! Joel Chan, you cheeky man. So if you guys have ever had this happen to you and you're sitting here thinking, well, how the fuck do I deal with this? Especially when they like pylon it off. Now this cannon rush is easy to stop. The drones, you could just pull drones. It's just a matter of do you see it. But Hatchery's building only have like this much vision, so she doesn't see it. But if you have this happen to you and it's like blocked in by pylons, you can't get at it, you grab a bunch of drones, like 6 or 7 or something, come down here to this, and like click this mineral, click one of the minerals that's in the pocket, like this mineral, or maybe this one. Get all the drones there and just spam right click and then spam click stop and then click on the other side and it'll make the drones jump over. But unfortunately Strom is about to lose her hatchery. So unless she has lings already in production. If she has 6 lings in production, with just one cannon there's still a slight chance she can save this. But it's looking less and less likely because she's not making a ton of lings and hasn't saved for them. The other thing she could have done too, if she would have seen a little bit faster, you can help by putting like a sunken that's just in range, and that sunken can get rid of the cannon. But without any lings, I don't believe she can save the hatchery. Just have to see it. That's a scouting thing. You just have to see it. I actually have a video up on YouTube for that. If you just want to see, if you actually want to see how to do it, you can check at my YouTube. There's one of my tutorials is on how to deal with a cannon rush. So we'll do a re for them since that was not much of a game. So Strom and Joel Chan. To pull drones. And it's dark matter. Yeah, and if it's one cannon, you can just make lings like Splack says. It'll be out. The lings, like if you make the lings right away, they'll be enough in time, and you can just get lings back there. Unless it's like really pylon blocked in, like if it's like the gas wall on circuit breaker, or on circuit breaker where they gas pylon you in, then you're in real trouble. You gotta go there and like make the gas and then cancel the gas and try to jump over. It's a pretty strong position if Protoss gets it. All right, so I guess Laser Snipe's gonna go Terran and left. 3, 2, 1, and go. Unfortunately, she was not saving lings, and she only had a pair, and it looked like she didn't get enough out. But yeah, 4 lings will probably kill a cannon. 6 definitely will. Like 4 will kill it if you can get on top of it, I think, just in time. And then with 6, you'll get it for sure. 4 probably wouldn't deal with a cannon behind the minerals though, because they're not gonna filter in very well, and 1 or 2 will die. Ooh, damn, Laser Snipe, you got this shit figured out. Nice double kill. That's not what I want to do. I want to do that. Alright, so rematch. Joel Chan top right, and Strom Carlin top left. Go for the more economical 6 pool, or economic 5 pool. 5 pool with supplanted drones behind it. Dark Matter, I can't believe you had to play Relentless. I'm genuinely surprised Relentless was in CPL. Because maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I could have sworn Relentless was like E on Fish or something like that. So I'm surprised he was in CPL. Ah, okay. Overlord is headed in the correct direction, and Joel Chan is not headed in the correct direction. Now let's see. We should have a forge somewhere in this vicinity, and then the gate fits up there. Otherwise, that's a weird place for that pylon. Like if he does like a forge and a gateway, I'm gonna cry. But his walls look good on the last map, so yep. Then we can just throw a gateway there, and we have a nice little 1-hex wall. I think that's a lie. I've not been dropped from the game. What about Dreamer? Dreamer is S and in CPL? What? Wait, is Dreamer really in CPL? I mean, maybe he started off not strong, but that would be some prodigious improvement to go from, say, 1800 to S rank. I mean, like, if he legit did that, then, like, super hats off, because that's really nice improvement if he's really S rank. But I don't know. Alright, so he's going to get a cannon first, which is a bit unfortunate for him, because Strom, of course, went 12 hatch. And if Zerg goes hatchery first, you do not need this cannon. You can actually go straight into your Nexus and even get your gateway before you make a cannon. And as a rough rule of thumb, you basically need to start making your cannon on most maps right about when the lings hatch. If you want to be really safe, you can just make the cannon when the pool finishes, but as a general thumb, right when the lings are morphed, that's when the cannon's got to be going down. Wait, what? What? I think this is open. This gateway should be 1 hex more to the right, and then you've got a nice little 1 hex wall. It's a good wall for gate expand. Walls in PvZ are pretty great things. They prevent lings from being absolutely obnoxious. If you don't have a wall, Zergling rushes are just ridiculously powerful. It's almost impossible to stop without building just a fleet of cannons, and then you're way far behind. Whereas walls allow you to make two, maybe 3 cannons, and stop the Zerg that just spams nothing but Zerglings. You just block the wall with a Zealot, pull some probes, let the 3 cannons fire away, none of the lings can get in. Easy peasy. It takes a year to go up. It depends on who you are, BC or BVC. Like Tim in the past 4 months, he went from legit like probably 1750, 1800 up to 2050. Some people just practice hard, and some people just have natural talent and improve quickly. But I would say, yeah, on average for most people, 1 to 200 MMR a year is pretty realistic and pretty accurate. Actually, you know what? Placed right there. Definitely, if the pylon is here, it's not, because I mean that's the standard like Gate Expo wall. All right, no, the Gate Expo wall goes here. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, this pylon might actually be open on this side. Pylons can be a little bit weird. Let's see. Is it? Is it? Ah, try to go through. Tell me. I want to know. The pylon here is tight, though. This is pylon, forge, gateway, and that's like the classic wall to do gate expand. Alright, so let's take a look here. We got a Stargate. Timing on the Stargate is really good. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, at least 415, maybe 410, so that's great Stargate timing. Now we have a bunch of gas and no additional tech. I don't like that. The tech is pretty important in PvZ, and if you're not going straight into your tech, you don't need that gas. So I would like to see the Citadel. It's a bit late, and there's no +1. Well, it just now started, so it's a very late +1, and it's a very late Citadel. So that's going to slow things down a bit for Joel Chan. And Strom, in the meantime, has not placed her Spire. Lair timing is pretty good, but where's the Spire? Plenty of minerals. Focused on something else. What are we focused on? This thing? So yeah, this is one of those examples where you can see where she's looking. I mean, sending drones to mine is good, but there was no need to like look at this ling, stuff like that. Just needs to get the Spire down. So this is a pretty big mistake from Strom here. She's prioritizing hatches before, but she's not going to have a response to this first Corsair. So this guy is going to go to town on Overlords, and if he keeps producing Corsairs, which he is, a lot of Overlords are going to die. There's not even a Hydra Den started. Okay, so she just now put the Spire down. Her lair's been done for a minute. She actually had great lair timing, but unfortunately the Spire didn't get down, and no Hydra Den was put down. So these Corsairs are going to get a lot of Overlord kills. And she doesn't have many lings, so if this is comboed with these 3 or 4 Zealots moving out right now, then Strom is going to take an incredible amount of damage because she's about to be badly supply blocked. Sees the Spire, knows he can kill a couple Overlords off. And there goes the first one. Eco for Strom admittedly is great, and she's got her 5 hatches. We should see a Hydra Den. Okay, so mostly her build was been pretty well executed. Unfortunately, this has been a big mistake that's going to cost at a minimum probably 3 or 4 Overlords, and that'll depend on how well she manages. She needs to basically spam 5 or 6 Overlords so that she gets an opening in her supply gap. Oh, he's not going to stay? Ah! What? Joel-chan, oh my god. The mercy of Protoss. I guess Joel-chan didn't feel comfortable with how long the Spire was going to take or whatever, and so he has not opted to continue killing Overlords, which he definitely could have. Now, that gives Strom a window. Hopefully she's made like a couple Hydras, and then that can keep the Corsairs off her back, and then she can pop a few Scourge as well. And we are going into the Archives now. We should have +1 on the way. But of course, had he done this dedicatedly, if he wanted to do a +1 speed lot, which he appears to because he's got 2 gates, and is like threatening with these Zealots, this could have been done. +1 could have been done 30 seconds ago, something like that. Definitely 15 seconds ago. So everyone here is ranked more or less, need to play more or less. Yeah, anybody that like plays is going to have a rough idea. I mean, sometimes you can just estimate skill. You know, I mean, if I watch someone play 10 games and they beat guys that are F really easily and they lose to everybody that's D, you know, and usually it's a pretty clear indicator that, okay, these guys are E rank. That kind of thing. All right, so we got what we need. Well, that's unfortunately a slightly useless third Scourge. Awkward third wheel. All right, we got Zealots moving out. We got a Sunken here. As long as she's making Hydra right now, she will be pretty safe against this. Assuming she makes Hydra or Lynx now and just drone drills a little bit. I don't think +1. Oh, is +1 done? Well, it's 8 minutes. Yeah, +1's done. It's 8 minutes. Ideally, this attack should hit about 6:45, 7 minutes. Corsairs are going to go to town. Now, if he's made a DT behind this, that would be very annoying. Now, there are only 4 Corsairs. All right, let's see. Strom didn't get the drill. Drill the Sunken, and reinforce with these Hydras. She can definitely hold this, but unfortunately, it was a bit of a late reaction. Okay, now you got to like make the drones go mine. But unfortunately, these Zealots got on top of the Sunken really fast. Although it looks like they have spent enough health that Strom is actually going to clean this up without quite as many problems as I thought she was going to have. So that's not terrible in the end. It looked bad. And now these Hydras should be able to settle down, although they're having some serious difficulty here. Corsairs are going to get a few Overlord kills. This is where it would pay to have a few Scourge off. Could whittle the numbers down, but it looks like speed is done, so that's going to let Strom micro these away. And Joel-chan's throwing away a lot of Corsairs to get the Overlord kills. Unfortunately for Strom, this was part of it, but it's pretty easy to panic during the attack. And if you guys are wondering about that kind of stuff, like the fact that she now has 1.5k minerals after that attack is a really big deal. That's obviously 75 a Hydra. We're looking at 20 Hydras that she's missing, 20 plus Hydras that she's missing. And the main way you learn to do that is you just have your hatcheries on your hotkeys, and you just have to make it a habit. Like while you're in the middle of microing, you don't even stop. You just kind of spam 4SH, 5SH, 6SH, 7SH, 8SH, and then you know you can just literally be in the middle of like microing shit around, and you just spam as you micro, and that keeps stuff producing from all your hatcheries. If you have these huge gaps in your production, it's really brutal. Now where's she at? Her saturation's pretty good here. It's a little too much concentration of the natural. Making sure you stay at 1 drone per patch makes a pretty big difference. Definitely something that's worth paying a little bit of attention to. And here we go. We got 2 Templar here and like 7 Zealots. 1 Sunken, 1 Spore. There's enough Hydra here that they could defend this if she... Ah, yeah, snipe on the Templar. Good, good. And yeah, I was going to say, if they spread out, there'll be enough that they can just defend. Better to just find out if you are than not to know. Yeah, I agree with that. Ladder's not too scary. Like, just play some games. You'll figure out where you're at. You'll lose some. You'll win some. You might lose a few at first if you're just starting out, because it, by default, puts you at 1,500. Now, Joel-chan has 4 gates, or 5 gates, rather. So, he's expanding here. And in against this build, it's a little bit risky to do that. Now, Strom has missed enough macro that it's not all that bad. But Joel-chan has to be very careful because he's investing a lot here in this base. He doesn't have a ton of production. And 5 gates is not a lot to fight against 5 or 6 hatch Hydra. and especially not out in the open. So with this expansion, he's going to need to be extremely careful. If he takes a bad fight, Strom would absolutely be able to come over here and cause a lot of trouble for this third base. Or with just one cannon, she should be able to win at the natural. I mean, this is really a position where there's not much Jolchan can do right now if Strom really starts macroing well. She'd just have too many Hydra. He has not made many Templar. In fact, he's made none. So, yeah, wrong units right now. You need 4 or 5 Templar always, and then some Zealots, and then maybe you can go into Dragoons. But with just 1 Templar on the map and 1 cannon at the main base, 5-hatch Hydra spam will run that right over. But I think Strom is going to be in her head. She's going to be like, ooh, this attack was really scary. He's out on the map pressuring. And I have a feeling she's going to sit back and play very scared, which is going to be great for Jolchan because he's taking a more or less greedy third without the right composition, and he's not going to get punished for it. And yeah, good point. Strom is going Hive. Now, did she get +1 missile? Okay, good, good. That's what you're supposed to do. All right, so we have this little attack here. Actually, it's more than a little attack. Supplies are pretty good for Strom. Unfortunately, she's got a lot of supplies sitting back at this base. Now, let's see how she uses it. I mean, if she can coordinate a good attack here, I mean, she can absolutely crush this army. She's got 3 or 4 groups of Hydra out, and there's only 1, or 2 storms, rather, from this Templar. So let's see what happens. Okay, DT dies here at the base. These Hydra need to be careful. Oh, if they can just find this 1 Templar. Jolchan, you got to make Templar, but we can see 7 gates now. Base coming up. Strom knows about it. Let's see if she does something. She's got such a good window. Such a good window to do something. She has droned up this base a little bit. The main still needs a few more drones. Tends to be what happens in the main, though. You have like 9, you make a few buildings, and then all of a sudden your main saturation is like, oops. Oops. Alright, so Jolchan just needs a few more Templar. He's got a 2nd Templar in the army. What does Strom definitively have? That's just under a group. That's like a group and a half. There's another group, 2.5. Yeah, she's got about 4 groups of Hydra. That's a match for this army with this low of Templar count, particularly with a good Templar sniper too. Starting to have some Dragoons in it though, which will make the Hydra line up a bit. If you're going to look for mid-game aggression in PvZ, Dragoon-heavy armies are pretty strong. They make all the Hydra arc up really nice. They deal with lurkers. They make your storm more powerful. They make it really hard to snipe Templar. This is a cute little counter here from Strom. If Jolchan was macroing a little better, it would be much more dangerous. Now, killing the cannon probably shouldn't do that. Ah, she didn't get it, but she has nowhere to go. Now, if she had lurkers and she morphed 2 lurkers on the ramp here and like ran behind, that would be an annoying little move. But I have a feeling she's just going to run into these cannons and lose the Hydralisks. However, she is expanding to a 4th base. And has she added any more drones? No, but we have a Defiler Mound, so that's good. Quite a lot of Hydra here. I don't like the fact there's no Lurker, especially with 1,250 gas. This army is going to get really scary soon, and Lurkers are going to become essential for it, particularly if a few more Templar are added into the composition. And we do see those Templar numbers increasing right now as we watch. And hey, Urbon, thanks for hosting, man. Urbon's a good dude. If you guys, well, obviously you guys coming from his stream watching, but if you don't know Urbon, he's one of the most long-standing, kind of hard-working players. He plays a lot of StarCraft. He's got a great stream. He's about 2K, 2.1K, so he's a pretty solid player. All right, there's our lurkers. Let's see if we can get this army together. Just needs to be careful of the storms here. Going in for the snipe. That's not bad. If she can get them. Ah! So a control group for a Templar is probably not quite worth it, but she does have some lurkers here. She's got to get them burrowed and then perhaps coordinate the Hydra coming in for the other side. And then what Jolchan needs to be wary of here is not charging in with the Zealots first. Alright, she's coming up from the Hydras behind, but moving back. Unfortunately, there's a lot of micro going on, but there's absolutely 0 macro going on. So there are no reinforcements. If Jolchan breaks through here, the game is over. This is not how you break this, though. The Zealots have to wait behind the army. You move in the Dragoons, you storm, you soften, you get rid of the Lurkers, then the Zealots can run through, and now Strom Karlin's sending in everything. It looks like they might be out. No, he's not out of storms. He's trying to morph an Archon, and that whole army falls. Unfortunately, I don't think either... Actually, no, it looks like Jolchan did macro a little bit. He just has too much money. Strom Karlin, unfortunately, 0 macro during that entire engagement, which is a huge loss for her. She is going to try to counter... Oh, there's a Templar with a storm. If that flanks, if he finds this thing and comes in with like a flank Templar, That would actually be really devastating. Okay, let's see if Strong Carlin can get in here and pick off these Templar at least. If she's going to micro, she wants to get the Templar out of it. Get the Templar now! This Templar... no, it didn't storm. It still has its energy. But again, we're in that no macro. That was another opportunity where with macro, she would have just been able to win, just streaming Hydras in. I don't think Joel Chan had enough, and now he doesn't have much in the way of Templar. Like, still with 7 gates, if Storm Carlin just started spamming Hydras and throwing in a few Cracklings, like, you're not going to hold that if you just have a single Templar. There has to be some form of Archon, some form of Splash, something of that nature, if you want to hold an attack like this. Did Herbmon actually switch to Terran? Or is he just playing Terran? Like, I see his stream has been called Terran Practice, but I don't know if that's like a committed, no, I'm done with Zerg, or if it's just like, oh, I want to try Terran for a little while and get decent with Terran. Alright, so Joel Chan taking that 4th base. Storm Carlin trying to drone this up. She's still spending her money okay, but she unfortunately doesn't spend her money in the critical points of the game. And then, alright, this is cute. We're sending this little group of army around here to try and deny this base. And there's not... I think that's why it's going here. I wonder if this Corsair will incidentally scout it for Joel Chan, who is macroing up pretty hard. Now, the one thing I dislike, too, is Storm Carlin went for a pretty fast hive. And we've seen, well, now 1 Defiler and 0 Lings. And Cracklings, we all know how... Oh, no, he doesn't know about it! Oh, no, the base! Oh, this Hydra might give it away. But yeah, she should definitely be spamming a lot more Cracklings from her hatcheries. Like, Hydra are great, but the whole point of going for a fast hive is usually to get those Defilers and those Cracklings. And his Cracklings that are just absolutely devastating. They're super strong units. And now just target fire the Nexus, and she will get the Nexus kill. So that's a pretty good denial. And that's going to give Strom headed towards 5 bases. And Joel Chan with not as many. He stayed on 3 base for a while. He hasn't been able to defend this one. So now he needs to figure out where he's at, because he's going against a 4-base Hive Zerg, which in theory is really a good match for a 3-base Protoss. Like, Joel Chan would really like to be on 4 bases now and starting to Reaver up and High Templar up. Base defense going to become a huge issue with the mobility and speed at which Cracklings kill Nexuses. This group kind of getting distance from the main army, and it looks like the Hydras are going to more or less eat this. Yeah, too many Dragoons to be very good against a Hive comp. Like, having a few Dragoons in your army against Hive is great, and Dragoons are actually fantastic against Ultra. The problem is they're complete garbage against Zerglings. So you usually don't want too many Zerglings or too many Dragoons in a Hive comp, also because Darkstorm kind of makes them 100% useless. So Hive comp moves more towards Archon Zealot, with maybe a few Dragoons and High Templar for support, and then adding Reavers as base defense and as aggression. Yeah, she's finally starting to make a few links. She's got some Defilers here. So given how goon heavy this army is, if she responds reasonably quickly with a Swarm, this attack shouldn't do a whole lot, and should more or less just bounce off. And there we go. She doesn't have crack, or does she have crack? She does have crack. Yeah, those are cracklings. 1-0 though for her. Ah! 3 attack, but no armor. Oh man, if she gets attack on those Lings, they will do so much damage. Great saturation over here. Quite a few hatcheries. I mean, Storm Carlin is gradually playing her way into a pretty good position. We just need to see if she can deal with this large Protoss army. Joel Chan is starting to mine out right now, which is a pretty big deal. She's basically just got to hold this off. There are a few Archons in here, so this is looking like a little bit more of a Hive composition. Still too many Dragoons, which would make a few Dark Swarms just absolutely ridiculously strong here. Hydra, I don't know what those Hydra did, but that was not what they needed to do. Probably looking for Templar, but not finding any. Just needs to go and throw up a Dark Swarm. Okay, we're consuming Swarm. No. Plague's not bad either, but just put a Swarm on these. They can't do anything. Make the Swarm. Okay, there we go. There we go. Then just spam some Lings, and we're good. She could attack it from this side as well. The army's a bit split up, and it's out of Templar now, so just streaming Hydra in an okay number will just absolutely crush this force. Now, there's a reinforcement coming across for Joel Chan, but will it get there in time, and are there any storms left here? I don't know where these Templar were. I, missed them. There we go. Now some storms are getting thrown down, and the reinforcements arrive just in time for Joel Chan, so he's able to link up his armies. And so this is not a good engagement from Strom. She needs to keep the swarm up here and just make some Zerglings, and she will be just fine. But actually, it looks like Joel Chan has made a Reaver, and that might be the deciding factor here in this little battle, if a Reaver comes flying on in. Yeah, we got a Reaver down, and I don't think Strom's going to have an answer to that. She appears to be out of storms, and a 4th base is going up, so unfortunately, this base is going to get broken for Strom. He's going to try to burrow, but there's no Dark Swarm. There could be one last Dark Swarm, but the Reaver's definitely with the power to break that underneath, as I have a lag spike. So that falls down, and in walk the Dragoons. And it just doesn't look like Strom is going to have enough to be able to clean this up at this point. A lot of money, so much gas, unfortunately for her. Didn't make as many lurkers or other units as she could have. And GG is called. Definitely a point there. Strom was almost into that game and at an advantage, but can be difficult to close those games out. But not bad. The Spire thing should have been up faster, and then she had lots of opportunities in the early mid-game to win. And then late game, it was just a matter of having the right units in the right places to deal with that, and making more lings. More lings, a little more Defiler usage, maybe a few more lurkers, less Hydra. Yeah, more lings. More lings, less Hydra, more lurk, especially as you have Hive. Like, you had Hive for a long time, and you never made, like, any cracklings. And then if you go back and watch that, you had a lot of opportunities. You had a lot of opportunities in the mid-game where you definitely could have won. And the other big thing for you, especially mid-game, but in general, is your macro, like, overall, kind of average through the game is not bad. But when you get attacked, you really micro, and there's, like, 0 macro. So you don't have any, like, counterattack or reinforcements. And there was like 2 or 3 moments where I was like, oh man, if she's macroing here, like, she can just 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A into Jolchan's natural.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like it was, yeah. I also got supply blocked a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, we saw a few of those. Also, your Spire needs to go down, like, ASAP.
My Spire was so late.
Yeah, you had your lair, and I was like, oh, put down the Spire, put down the Spire!
I just didn't build a Spire. It was so bad. But, like, I don't know. He could have got so many more Overlords, but he ran away.
Yeah, I don't know why he ran away. I was like, he must not know that his what do you call it, is almost done. Yeah. Alright, Jolchan is peacing out. Alright, so we're gonna have Throw King, I guess, playing against Arya. And if you would have just made Hydra from, like, 5 hatches, nothing you could have done. You need like 4 or 5 storms.
Yeah, I think that I felt like I had no vision.
Felt like you had, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Although in the early game,
the army is.
In the early game, it can be hard to actually have good vision though, because you can't really afford to send, like, Slover Lords all over the map. But, like, basically, the thought process more or less should be, if you're playing, like, a 5 or 6 hatch build, is I am making Hydras, I'm being aggressive early on, so I can afford to be out on the map, because I'm going to have enough mass to fight Protoss. Like, if your build is solid, there's no way Protoss can really, like, have enough that you just have to run away. Once you get your speed and your range, and you have 2 or 3 groups linked out on the map, if your build is decent, Protoss can have enough to, like, beat you or lose against you, but not enough where you look at that army and say, oh fuck, I just gotta run away from this.
Yeah.
So just basically be confident, like, get that macro running, and you can get out there with 2 or 3 groups and be aggressive with it. And like Jolchan's...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What?
I said go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like my macro, like, exactly what you said, like, I feel like it's okay in the early game, and it's, like, okay weirdly, like, once I have a whole bunch of bases up, it's, like, okay. But, like, in mid-game, my money runs high. Because, like, at the end, my money would run low, but it's, like, for some reason in mid-game, I don't know.
Yeah, in mid-game, it looked like it was going high. A combination of supply blocks and during battles, there just wasn't any macro.
Yeah.
And then I think also drones were still a little bit on the low side. They were definitely low in the main.
Okay.
Which tends to happen because you tend to make a few buildings, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, my saturation is weird.
Okay. The Sim City was the right idea at the national, right?
It was decent.
Okay,
yeah.
But what about at the third?
It was okay there. That's not a terrible way to go.
Okay.
Honestly, the thing there was just the drones were slightly low, and then the reaction to the pull was a little bit late. And like if he gets on top of that sunken, what you really want to do is really get the drones to just drill on top of those, like try to get them glitching the zealots, and then spam move or attack.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have vision of any minerals on that side.
Well, you can use your own minerals in the third, like you can just run in those minerals, and you should be able to get on top of them.
Around and then, okay, yeah.
And get in there and disrupt. But he was able to run on top. I was actually worried you might lose there because he was able to run like directly on top of that. I was actually worried. I was worried that you might lose there because you actually were able to run, like he was able to run all the zealots directly onto the sunken, so I thought the sunken was just going to fall like immediately. And then the other thing too for those kind of attacks is you usually want to start reinforcing with your Hydra from your natural as well.
Yeah, my Hydra I think I started them a bit late as well. Because I don't know, my build got a bit...
Yeah, I think everything, again, just execution and speed makes such... Especially in PvZ, like, it's so timing-based.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you execute, like, 100%, like, given his timing for that Zealot attack, you would have probably had 2.5 groups of Hydra at that time.
Yeah.
If everything was, like, really crisp.
When you do 5-hatch Hydra... Okay, on Liquipedia it says to start building Hydra at, like, 45 supply. Should it be earlier than that?
45. That seems really late unless you're doing like 6-hatch or something.
Okay.
Because let's see how the micro is here against the Zealot for Arya. Should be okay. But yeah.
45 supply when you're actually like have control of the map, have Zerglings, you know, making sure no probes get in or whatever. Because that's like 45.
Yeah, because depending on how you do it, like, you know, usually you're going to place your hatcheries at like 30, 35, somewhere in that range, you know, like 32, 35. And then, you know, about 35 drones. So I would say usually if you're going to just go 5-hatch Hydra, you're looking more like 35 or something like that to start making Hydra. I wouldn't make 10 more drones after that. And Arya's going to do a Vulture first.
Like you can do a round of Hydras and then do another round of drones. Because I think I always messed that up in ZVP. Because like for the longest time, like when I first started, I would just make way too many drones.
Mm-hmm.
And then just die because all I have was drones.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that what I'm messing up is like now I'm just like only building, like my macro's getting better, but I'm only macroing Hydras.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, that if I make maybe a round of Hydras a little bit earlier and then make a round of drones and then go into Queen's Nest for.
And like probably the easiest way that I can think of when you're learning to figure out when to make drones is basically, you know, kind of you can follow your build for the first part, but then like if Protoss, like let's say Protoss does like a speed lot attack, right? Like he did against you. And he loses all of his speed lots and you mostly keep your army alive, then you can just do like a round of drones and then go back into units. Okay. And if he does a big attack into your natural and loses all his stuff, make a round of drones.
Yeah.
Use those kind of things. And as a general rule of thumb, in most cases, maybe not a round of drones, but let's say Protoss comes in for an attack, and then pulls back. Usually, he's not going to dive right back in. So that's usually a point where maybe you wouldn't make 15 drones, like a round of drones from all your hatches, or 5 drones, like but you might make a couple. You know, it's an art form. But yeah, if you just get good at sneaking in drones, that can take you a pretty long ways. Whoa, he's only got oh shit, he's J-donging himself. No, Least. Get your shit together! So this FD could do some damage, but the mine is down. Although, no, one of his Dragoons is not fighting. Oh, he's gonna get rocked by FD here. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Run the probes, run the probes! You gotta run the probes and wait for your ops! Ah! Or at least more Dragoons, but he's only got a gateway finishing. He's got no he's pretty bad. Oh my god. He's dead. GG. GG!
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said I was microwaving too much in the fights, which is...
Not microing too much. Because
but
like...
Was I doing the right thing though? Is what I want to know.
Overall, yeah. I mean, you know, it's
okay.
It's pretty much, I would say, like, you know, if you can find angles. The one thing I saw is a few times he went for Templar snipes, and I would say like when you start getting stormed, like you can still snipe the Templar, but you kind of want to move out of the storm and keep sniping the Templar. Okay. So you'd get a good click on the Templar, but then you'd also eat the entire storm. So you might want to try like running in, or the other thing that's often good to do is run all the way up against the Templar and then right click it. so that he kind of has to storm. Like you can run your Hydra all the way up onto the Templar, like right up into its face, and then click it.
So
if you get that kind of opportunity,
it has to storm itself. Yeah. Okay.
That'll work a little better. And then I would say like in Zealot Templar fights, it's mostly just kind of kiting back against Zealots and then just immediately splitting against Storms. And then, going in for the Templar snipes, that's more of a thing you do like before you commit to the engagement. So it's like when Protoss is going from his base to your base, you can be hunting the Templar snipes. And then if you're actually fighting him, if you just run in for the Templar snipe, it's usually a little too late because you're going to eat it when you need all your Hydra. You're maybe a little more focused on like splitting your Hydra up against the Storms and moving back and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Cool.
But no, there's no. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you first.
There's not really any such thing as too much micro. Like if you watch, Larva or Sulky or Effort or whoever playing, and you watch them play like 5-hatch, 6-hatch Hydra, they basically don't look away from their Hydra and stop microing. It's just, they're just in the middle of micro. They're just always going 4SH, 5SH, 6SH, 7SH. And you just got to train your hand to do that, and that's how you macro during those fights.
Yeah, and I think part of the problem though is that I'm on a laptop and my keyboard is like super flat, and sometimes when I hit SH,
on a laptop keyboard, yeah, that's a little bit annoying.
Yeah, I've noticed it like when I'm looking at it, and I'm not sure how much it does that when I'm like looking at Hydras and yeah, because it'll just like I'll go like 5SH, 6SH, 7SH, but what it's doing is just 5S, 6S, 7S, and like not registering the second key for some reason.
Yeah, and that means you might need to just slow it down. So instead of doing it super fast, it might need to be like 4SH, 5SH, 6SH, 7SH.
Yeah.
And if you just learn to,
sure that's what it is.
And if you just learn to cycle through that kind of all the time, then you'll get really comfortable with it.
Yeah, because I think when I'm doing it during, like especially if I try and do it while I'm doing something else, I do it really quickly, and then I think it just it doesn't always do it.
And then when I watch,
I mean, obviously it's not all of it, but.
And then later game, like when I watch somebody like Larva, what I see from Larva is that he will continue to do some of that in the later game, but he'll kind of make like some key units out of probably 4 or 5 of his hatcheries still from his hotkeys, and then in between fights he'll do like a full round of macro from like all his hatcheries. But then during some key fights, he won't macro the whole time later on, but he'll get in at least a few hatcheries probably of key units.
Yeah, because I was like, that's what I was trying to do with like, I guess bottom left, because I've seen a lot of Zerg players put all their hatches in one spot, and then you can just go.
Yeah, it's nice
to
do that.
Place, control click, and just make all your units at once.
Yep.
When you're not looking at a fight.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, especially if you're playing like aggressively, that constant unit production and having those reinforcements, like it makes all the difference in the world. Like if you don't reinforce.
Also, making lurkers is good.
Yeah, lurkers are good too. Particularly once you move into like I'm getting a 4th stage of the game.
Yeah, yeah, and I should have built defilers earlier too.
Because once Protoss hits like, I'd say kind of 3+ control group army with some dragoons, it gets really hard to fight with pure Hydra unless you're just effort and you're a genius. And so at that point, that's where you're like, okay, I got to start getting some lurkers in this army, or I'm just gonna get 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A rolled. Yeah. Drunk TV, nice name, and hello, sir. Willkommen. I wonder if has that always been your name, or do you just change it to Drunk TV? Either way, it's funny. Are you by chance also known as Arcneon? Ooh, Zlot first from Snipe, but it's cross map, so that's a little bit sad for him. But Arya's not making a Marine right away, so that is good if he can find where to send this Zlot. Oh, has he scouted? No, I guess not.
I wasn't watching.
Is he gonna go cross with a Zealot? Is he gonna go cross with a Zealot? This cheeky dude! This cheeky dude! Yo, I'm a streamer who's drunk. I love Arcneon, but you're not Arcneon. Arcneon, known for being a little bit drunk on stream sometimes. Look at this madness. Drunk TV, thanks for following, man. Welcome. Zealots coming across for death. Now there's going to be 2 Marines out. How close are we to a third? 2's a little annoying. You can't defend very well with 2. And I believe his depot is on the wrong side of the barracks here, so I think he doesn't have a pretty good area. I don't think he has a very good area to micro against. 3rd Marine comes out. Ah, no, don't go around. Oh, nice trap, though. Can he get one? Ah, Arya's taking a lot of damage here, but the Zealot has been softened up. No, he's going to lose the Marine. Arya! Arya! He lifts the fact. What is he doing? Arya, what are you doing? There's a second. There's a Dragoon coming across the map. Okay, well, he's going to get lucky. Is this gun... okay, it just goes down. But now he's got to deal with an annoying Dragoon. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess I should say, depending on whose frame of reference you're talking about, there's a Dragoon here to say hello. So he's going to have to pull SCVs, which is going to be annoying. Hey, Drunk TV, thanks a ton for the donation, man. I appreciate it. All right, so down goes the down goes the Marine. And no, Micro, you're good. No! He gets it pinned. All right, I don't think that was worth it. I mean, yeah, you disrupted a lot of mining, but he also lost a Dragoon. And now there's a Marine at the top of the ramp. And the SCV is going to get killed off. He's kept the Dragoon back for that. He's just going to sit and watch the front. Stardum's going to go FD, most likely. The Dragoon is going to come up here and at least pick off the Marine. Picking off the Marines is fine, but then he needs to leave. He doesn't want to lose another Dragoon. But without any Marines, there's not really an FD option here for Arya. Now, if he had 2 Dragoons, I would say, okay, stay, force the SCV pull. But 1 Dragoon obviously can't snipe a tank, because the tank wins that fight one-on-one. Even more so with a little Marine. All right, now he's got to run away. Can he save the Dragoon? Ah, it's going to be close, but it looks... Nope. Yeah, that wasn't worth it. Now he's got 1 Dragoon. Arya's got a tank and a Marine. Fortunately for Arya, it's 1 gate. If Laser Snipe had been doing 2 gate, Arya would be 100% dead. Arya could have been badly hurt if Laser Snipe would have been a little more focused with his micro, but it was not to be. And now we're going to get some mines. Now that will obviously end the pressure for now from our boy Laser Snipe, the legendary host of CPL. And the Nexus now coming up. Transfer probes on the way, just a smidge late. Looks like to be a pretty darn good transfer size there. Sent 10 on down. Actually, maybe even slightly bigger than he needed to go. Usually probably 7 is a optimal transfer size. And we got some vultures on the map. Can he snipe one? Looks like they might get away. But he does have a Dragoon back at home. He does not want to run this out onto the map. Okay, there we go. Now he's pulling that guy back. He's going to add another pylon. I think that's a wise choice. Doesn't want to deal with any vulture run-bys. And Arya is probably getting... Well, he's got 2 out. I wonder if there's any chance he's getting speed. Probably not. He's probably just going for siege. But we'll have to see here. We gotta... Oh, he's back on the ramp. Okay, not a bad idea. But this vulture's going to run in the natural and get a kill. Can I get a second kill? It wants it, but it's not going to get it. So out goes that vulture. And in the meantime, what is the game plan here from Arya? Okay, second machine shop. And thank you for following Nos Crag. N-O-S Crag. Craig? Crag? Craig? Craig. Presumably Craig. Maybe you pronounce your name Crag, but that wouldn't be normal. And Laser Snipe's going to throw down a pretty quick citadel. And a nice little wall off here for Laser. Maybe a 2-base ARB play here from Laser. Or maybe it's going to be Gateway Toss. And an armory for Arya. So pretty much telegraphing. Given the timing, he's telegraphing that it's more or less going to be 3-base play. He's not going to do a timing tech off this. It's far too late of an armory to be a 2-base 2-1. The armory has to come down at like 6 minutes or so. Which is not what's happening here. And so now we'll just see where Laser Snipe is going to take this. No, he's got a citadel done, but no other buildings have started yet. He's got a pretty fast gas at the natural. He's only got 2 on that gas, though. Might be an accident. Might be an accident. There's a Stargate and a Archives. Okay, so it is 2-base ARBs. Possibly 2-base ARBs with an expansion. But he's going to need an OBS before he can do anything about that. Let's see if he corrects these 2 on gas. Okay, he did just see that. Nice, Laser! Recognizing, oh, my gas seems a little bit off. Something's wrong. And Stardom starts his +1. He builds his command center. I don't know why he built it there. I feel like there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't build the command center. I mean, that's like a 15-20 second delay in his CC timing building it this far into the base. So I don't like that decision. Pylon wall goes up here for Laser, who needs to get an obs over to this base and start his Arbiter Tribunal. There we go. Now Arya's going to add 2 more factories here. He's getting a depot up in the natural. It's pretty much a standard macro game at this point. Vulture's trying to get up here, but there's a wall of pylons that are going to shut them down, and Laser's going to send a few Dragoons over to defend that. I do like his Dragoon setup here, though. Oh no, he's going to blow up the probe! Oh, never mind. The Dragoons actually get the shot off. Despite the obs not being there, apparently. But yeah, these Dragoons, the few were sitting out front to get initial damage, and these 2 were like right back here, and very easy to block that hole. So that's good goon positioning. Kind of baits the Vultures in, and then bam, slams the door shut. Vultures can't get any kills. Academy about to finish. 3rd base done. And it's 2 base arbs, 2 base fast-ish arbs kind of thing. It's going for an expansion. Bit risky, but hey, Stardom's expanding, so it's fine. So no like aggressive 3rd base denying potential here from Laser Snipe. But of course he'll have very fast recall, very fast stasis, some sort of early attack or aggression, middle attack or aggression will be possible from Arya. Or not from Arya, from Laser Snipe, excuse me. And Arya's just getting a decent number of mines on the map. Vulture's coming up here, gonna try to eat this Dragoon. Got 3 against 1. Back off. Uh-oh, mine. Bam. Be careful. Okay, that mine's not going to go off. But if he walks this direction, could easily lose a few Dragoons. The obs is dead. Bye-bye. And 1 Dragoon goes down here. The Vultures need to run away. They can't really take this fight. Alright, well, the Vultures are not going to run away. That's typical Arya, though. A 100 APM B-Terran. Needs to get a transfer over here. Oh, he really needs to get a transfer over here. This is becoming a very late 3rd base right now for Arya. And of course we can see Laser Snipe, despite going for this fast Arbiter and slow 3rd base, is almost 30 supply ahead. That's a pretty big difference. Almost 40 supply ahead, sorry. It's a pretty big supply difference. And Arya is going to go for an attack? Laser totally sees this. He's adding more gateways. He's on 5. Arya's on only 4. So the gateway count ratio favors Laser Snipe. And the Arb is out. So Arya should get crushed if he goes for this. This is going to be bad decision making if he tries to attack here. Definitely not worth it for Stardom. Starport. Does he have +1 done? I'm sure he does. It's a pretty late +2, so wow, he's going to have really late 2-1 timing. Not looking like the cleanest game we've ever seen from Arya. And Laser Snipe's position is starting to look really dominant. I mean, Arya only just now basically saturated, a minute ago saturated the 3rd base, so it's like a 10-30 3rd base. Laser's mining okay from a 3rd. Looks like he's moving to take a 4th. He's actually coming down here to be aggressive. A turret is going to get up. Let's see if he stacks that Observer over the turret. No, he's obviously not going to pay attention to that. More focused on other things right now, like what he could do with this Arb. He had a juicy fat stasis on these super clump tanks, like right there. Get like 3 or 4 tanks, and then just 1A, 2A, 3A. Quite a few tanks being left at the 3rd base for defense. However, I don't know about those tanks, because the Dragoons that park out here just kill these depots, and then the Zealots run up. Not particularly enamored with that tank setup. I feel at least 1 or 2 need to be closer to the front here to deal with Dragoons harassing from the bottom sides of the 3rd. And Laser, of course, is being a little bit careful here because he's double expoing. Trying to really go into that Econ Protoss, mass up gateways, and just be in an incredibly strong position with a great army as Arya maxes. But we're still a few minutes away from that happening from Arya. Like I said, I don't like the position he's played himself into. These upgrades, again, are crazy slow. He's not going to be looking at 2-1 until probably 13 or until probably 15 or 16 minutes, which is just very, very slow. Does he even have a second armory? No, that's also a little bit questionable from Arya. There we go. We did sneak 2 vultures down here, so this probe will fall. But Dragoon's army on top of that, and Arya moving his army around. But there's an Obs in a great scouting position. So I do like that aspect here from Laser Snipe. Arya is the name of my cousin's dog. Protoss has 0-0. Does have a forge, though. Building just his first cannon now. Oh, the classic Stardom where you can stasis a control group of tanks almost. I guess that's what happens when you're like 100 APM as Terran. So Stardom is just kind of struggling. He's really far behind in this game. Laser Snipe just needs to spam some gateways, and life will be great for him. That should be his only focus right now. The only thing he doesn't have is an Obs to watch this side of the map, and he's kind of out of position, so if the army starts to go this way, which it looks like Stardom wants to... I don't know what the fuck Stardom is doing, though. Like, objectively, this push makes no sense. Protoss is maxed. He doesn't have any sort of timing. He doesn't have 2-1. So this attack is basically like, well, I hope Protoss doesn't have anything and doesn't know I'm attacking. Otherwise, I'm just going to fucking die. And he might, because the army is really awkwardly divided here. So Laser Snipe could easily bungle this, and he's not going to know about it until, well, right now. Let's see. Is he going to lose a control group before he even reacts? He's like, oh, shit, what the what? All right, so let's see how well Laser Snipe can group all this together. Now, the fact that Arya was allowed to go across the map and get position is definitely nice for him. That will give him a much better chance of having an attack like this work. But still, he's up against a max Protoss. Uh-oh, this is dangerous, and it's Dragoons. They might clump up here against this, but there's not a lot of mines laid. He did get some tank spread, though. But will the army of Laser be coordinated enough? Not many vultures coming in with this army, and the surround is fairly large here. Let's see if he can get zealots into these tanks. But no, he's going to be forced to back up. Arya does take some losses there, though. So, unfortunately, that was just a completely crushable attack at a few stages. And then the crushableness of that attack was lost. Laser Snipe needs a few more gates. He does have a few, but as his money starts to run higher, he can definitely afford to add a few more than that. And a bunch of Zealots and Dragoons reinforcing here. Coming on down. And, well, this base is going to fall under siege. And where did his Arbiters go? He has 2 Stargate Arbing. And we're going to have just a counter on the 3rd. If he's got a stasis, this is a good idea. This is a good idea if he's got a stasis. Does he have a stasis? Doesn't look like it. A little bit of refugee toss going on. Just needs to make units from this gateways. Maybe bring an Arbiter over here to help prevent Arya from pushing up into the top base, and then just go for the counter at the 3rd base. Bring an Arb, though. The fact that he doesn't have an Arb is pretty unfortunate, because obviously you can stasis at least 3, possibly even all the tanks if you can get the sweet click right there. But for the moment, Arya just kind of killing this bottom base. Oh, baby. I hope these bad boys are on hold position. I hope these bad boys... Okay, he's going to move them back. And Arya, that's risky, bro. There's a lot of Protoss out here. Well, let's see what Snipe is going to do. Now, Arya's coming up here, taking a look. I think Arya really wants to kill this base off. Snipe is adding gateways over here. But remember, that's a pretty decent cost to Snipe. That's several thousand minerals that are invested in this base. So that's, in that sense, it's not a bad trade for Arya. And Arya is indeed going to go up here. So this should be Snipe's cue to get really aggressive and do something with his army. But his attention right now, I think, is on adding these gateways. Obviously, we can see he's not a super high APM player, so harassing and attacking in multiple spots is not really something he has quite the speed to do effectively. So I think that's why he's just trying to coordinate everything here. But he's giving Arya Stardom a ton of time. I do like that he's expanding and making these gateways, but I feel like just sitting here doing just that is a little bit overkill. He's finally going to make a move. But Arya's had a lot of time. He's got a lot more units of the natural than he did before, and there's a good chance he can just reinforce to this base, unless, of course, we have enough for a recall. And if he attacks and combos it with a recall to right here, that would likely be a 3rd base killing move, even if these units try to come over to defend. And that is exactly what he's planning to do. But unfortunately, he's given Arya enough time that Arya can basically now come back. Here's the recall. It's right on top of the tanks. That was always going to be strong. So lots of stuff going to start dying here at the 3rd, but he really should, yeah, okay, he's going to attack the wall. And now Stardom is going to come back over here and defend. And let's see how carefully Stardom can defend. We can see the upgrades are still 2-0, which are not good. We're not upgrading to 3-1 for Stardom, which is a big deal as well. And let's see here. Command Center, is it going to get focused down? Tank's trying to get up. And we have some reinforcements, but see, this is where it's getting a bit sloppy. Stardom at only 100 APM, a little difficult for him to keep up. Tanks do get sieged in a pretty good spot. No juicy fat ramp stasis. And now Laser Snipe needs to pull back, but this is a lot of damage on the third base. Laser's hitting his macro as he does this. It would just be nice if he could get down here and trade a little bit more efficiently for some of these units, but he does throw away most of his army to sack the third base. On the downside, Arya had already built a command center, which is intending to be a fourth base, and he doesn't have that now. Nice base checking here for Laser. I definitely love that. And Arya, I like this. Protoss just lost his whole army, so Arya moves directly... Oh, I thought Arya was going to counter over here. Completely open, undefended base that Arya doesn't know about. But he is just going to go counter directly to the main, which is a little bit scary for Laser Snipe here. Let's see how this is handled. What do we got from energy from the Arbs here? We got a lot with this one. And there's no... Oh, there is a vessel, but it's kind of far back. So he's got to rely on scans right now, which he obviously has. But they will start to run out fairly soon. And this Arbiter is going I don't know where. Looks like the focus for Laser is going to be on countering here, but there's a lot of mines, and the Zealots just evaporate. That was not what Laser wanted. And this Protoss group getting thinned out, but there is no detection right here for Arya. And he is focused on the attack. Actually, no, Arya has seen the attack here now. Not going to be managing this army quite as much. And he's going to drive Laser back. Now, this base completely vulnerable. Let's see if Laser swings up here. Laser, swing up. Swing up! No, Laser! Okay, now he's going to swing up. Good decision there. Natural next going down. Needs to re-rally all these gateways. Make sure he's keeping on top of production. He has good income right now. But Arya is building up quite a lot of supply. Okay, the ramp stasis is pretty juicy. So forcing a run there is definitely powerful. But Arya still has a lot of bank. Okay, attacking the CC is not smart. With Zealots? No, just SCVs, please. Please, SCVs. But there will be enough reinforcements here soon to clean this up. And is Stardom going to be able to push into the main? That would be a big deal. Do we still have Arbiter production? Yes, but actually we have enough for a stasis. So, well, that's a lot of tanks that Arya can connect up. And with only a few gateways here, I feel like Arya might be able to split his attention between both bases. However, as an observer, very, very easy to sit here and say, oh yeah, he can split his army half to here and half to here and be good. But as a player, that's a little different. Oh, this is juicy. This is wonderful. Stasis here. Bleed the DTs. Be super annoying. Is there another vessel out? There might not be. I don't think there is. Oh, there's one, but it's a long ways away. Oh, that could be so good. He could definitely abuse the living daylights. No, not all at once! Laser, please! There's a vessel too! Ah, no! TTs are good, but not like that. Not like that. How many scans did we have? One? He had one scan. He had two scans, maybe. Maybe two scans. Oh, man. Missed opportunities. And indeed, Arya is trying to attack to both bases, but there's an Arbiter over here, and there is no... but there is a scan, but he's about to run out of those scans. Arbiter not quite cloaking the units perfectly, though. And it looks like Laser Snipe is starting to lose his grasp on this game. Unfortunately, he's lost an incredibly strong position here. Arya playing his way back into this game. Pretty nice game from Arya. He's judged it reasonably well. I mean, Snipe's made some good moves. Now, if Snipe can clear out this base here, maybe it's okay for him, because Arya is still in a pretty precarious position as far as his actual income goes. But we can see he's about to float out a fourth base. And he's got most of the gateways choked off, so it makes expanding very comfortable for Arya right now. I mean, Laser Snipe keeps having to rebuild. He just never quite has gotten the bases he wanted established. He's still mining okay from about 2 bases, but his mining is getting kind of dry now, and that's reflected in his money. And he's just bleeding a lot of units here to start him. He hasn't been able to get enough organized attacks going. Some mines getting up in the grill of these gateways. And a second base coming down here, and if Arya gets this second base, then Arya's eco is just really nice. 2-1 upgrades at 23 minutes. That's not helping Arya's cause, though. Okay, well, I don't know what more can be done here for Arya. I don't think there's a whole lot he can do. Or for Laser Snipe. He looks to be mostly out of options here. Tanks are going up. Oh, okay, that's a good time for an Arbiter. How much? Oh, there's still a lot of scan left. If you can keep the scans coming, but that's a good stasis. Good stasis. I guess there are still gateways in enough positions to be annoying. And there is still this Spotter Zealot. Well, if he holds on to the top base, which he might actually... No! Clone the Zealot! Ah! Well, that tank's still gonna die, eventually. That'll be a mind drag. Maybe that'll be a mind drag. Okay. So he's holding on here, and this is the moment we were concerned might come. Arya got a little too aggressive trying to go up the ramp and kill the base. He didn't have to. Could have just consolidated down here. And of course, the annoying part for Arya is there's still gateways in these locations, so Protoss can be coming from a lot of angles. That's a lot of defense to worry about. But he is clearing out here, and if he gets this base mining, and then he's mining too, it's getting a lot nicer. But Laser Snipe is doing a good job continuing to make probes. I mean, this is quite a game of refugee toss. Let's be honest about this. This is a pretty good example of refugee toss being somewhat effective. And start him now on top of these gateways at the main. Laser Snipe doing his best to keep tearing off his back. Oh, he should really get some units together and go attack down here. Stardom is not able to defend here. It's just not fast enough. This is one of those games where there's action in 2 or 3 places at once, and he just doesn't have the speed. He needs to put mines down over here, keep this attack going, worry about other things. It's a lot of stuff to be doing. And so Laser Snipe is actually almost back to being maxed. He's going to send... Oh no, Stardom! I don't... okay, he's going to see this, but does Stardom not know about this base? Because if he knows about this, running all your units away, this could be a game-losing move for Stardom. Especially if this attack doesn't do anything. And I don't know if it's going to. Alright, so this base is about to get wrecked, and he's out of position for it. And he's also got to be worried about this attack at the same time. But right now, this is not in a scary position. And Stardom is about to lose one of his last 2 sources of income. And oh my god, if he recalls here right now, which he definitely could, is he gonna have enough to threaten a recall? The Arbiter is ominously looking like it wants to recall. But actually, wait, is the vessel there? Was there a vessel? No, there was no vessel. Oh my god. Oh my god, if there's a recall, it would be super annoying if it was on all those SCVs. Although there's not actually that many units, so maybe there's not gonna be a recall. I'm sure he intended there to be a recall. Oh, he's only got a few seconds to react. Will he get a recall off, or is he just busy worrying about the 3rd base? Ah, how fast can he go? Yeah, he gets a recall. It's a baby recall, though. I don't know if it's enough to actually do that much damage. He can probably just glitch SCVs and pull these tanks. But now Arya just lost his last base. I think Arya pretty much just lost the game. He overextended right somewhere in here when he was going up both bases. He had it, and now he appears to have lost it because he's not mining. He's at 120 supply. Laser Snipe has a 5k bank, and it has slipped away from Arya. Tanks coming up here, clearing out these Dragoons. Even a little D-Matrix, and GG is imminent. Laser Snipe, the Slayer of Arya. Also with a recall to the main.
APM, huh?
Yeah. But Arya at like sub 100 APM Terran is like... That's prodigiously low. But yeah, Laser Snipe is not particularly fast either. But these are both good examples. Like if you watch the difference between like Laser Snipe and someone who's E or F, you'll see that all the important things tend to happen. Whereas an E or F player, they'll have 100 APM, but they'll be doing a lot less with it, and they'll be doing like they'll maybe focus a lot on like micro about a fight that doesn't matter. Whereas if you watch Laser Snipe, like he was putting up gateways, he was expanding all over the map, he was doing stuff that you'd think about, and you'd be like, wow, he must have great APM. But then you can kind of figure out where the weak points are. But the prioritization is going to be much better for someone like Laser Snipe, who's B rank.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for following, Doobie Cat. So yeah, well, Arya's on his last gasp attack here. He's basically not mining. He's got 70 supply. Laser Snipe has a 6k bank and 180. So even if he loses this base, almost all the minerals remain at these bases. He's still mining the top base. He's got nothing to worry about. He doesn't really care that much that this base is dying. He's cleaning up the factories in the main. So probably just needs to recall once on this army here at home, and that'll end it. That'll be enough to trigger GG. Start him exemplifying the Terran mindset of never give up, never surrender. And last few tanks will fall over at this side. And GG is called. Laser Snipe takes the game over, Mr. Arya. Not a bad game, Laser Snipe. Not bad. Got a little dicey there. The first engagement was pretty bad for you, but after that, you definitely kind of brought everything back together and did a pretty nice job. Sneaky Squid. That's quite the name. That's quite the name. I'll go against Laser. I'll do a game against Laser. See how his PVZ is. Laser, pick Protoss. I don't want to play your random.
Good, I can learn how to.
Alright, let's go. PVZ, ZVP. Ah! Alt tab. Son of a gun.
Can you do 5-patch Hydra?
I guess I'll try to play the Spire version of it, but if I fuck up and die at the beginning, it's because I usually play a no gas variant. But I'll try to play the legit version. What the fuck? My drones are being really weird.
Huh?
What?
Effort did that in ASL yesterday.
5-hatch no gas?
Yeah.
Or okay, against what was it? Was it a Gate Expo or was it a regular Forge?
I don't remember.
Okay.
To be honest.
Because a lot of times against Gate Expo, I see like a 4-hatch gas, but I haven't seen a 5-hatch no gas.
I think it was. I think it was actually.
Again, a Gate Expo?
I think it was, yeah.
Okay, that's a little more common then to delay the gas a bit against Gate Expo in favor of units and drones because Stargate timing is delayed. But it's less common at that level to do against, what do you call it? Against just regular Forge, yeah. Thanks for following Cold Warp Gates. Sounds like a good SC2 name. I sent my Overlord the wrong direction. Whoops. Alright, so unlike ZVT, where you can go for a pull, they go up to no good on whatever. In this case, you need to pull right away. I think you're up to no good. Are you? No. So I used that Overlord. I don't know if you saw that, but I was just checking to see if he was trying to be cheeky. So I like to send my first Overlord there. Because it just feels stupid to lose to a cannon rush.
So yeah, so you send it to the natural and then you send it across.
And I'll kind of like, if I don't see the probe, I'll kind of like move this guy around, and I'll be like, what are you up to?
Okay. That makes sense. That was 12 heads, right?
Yeah. Ah, I see where you are. Okay, so it is not a gate expand, so that's nice. Alright, so yeah, I'll give this a try. Get fucked, probe. Oh, this lag is really bad. Fuck. Make it stop. Oh shit, I forgot to make Scourge. Oh no, my spire's not done. Oh yeah, you normally lose one Overlord to this, never mind. I did not see much with that Overlord, which is a bit of a bummer. But I did see a +1 spinning, so I'm expecting some Zealot aggression, I guess. Oh shit, how the fuck? So this is where you saw immediately reinforced with this, and then you just want to drill with drones.
Oh yeah.
If he has a DT coming, this is pretty annoying actually, because, well, I don't have the right stuff here to deal with this.
You also built 2 stunts. I only had 1 in an Evo chamber.
It's really annoying that he killed those Overlords though. Lag is really fucking bad.
Do you want me to leave? Do you think it's me?
No, I don't think so. Oh, Lings, come on, please. How the hell did that get out? I have a contain at his base.
Forces are under attack.